Hello everyone, welcome back to part 3 of Five Nights, fuck, I've just immediately screwed it up, uh, I just immediately flew into a Markiplier without even doing the voice, of this tier list where we look at characters from franchises on Death
Battle.
Battle.
Isn't it?
This is part 3, part 1 ended on Marvel, part 2 began on DC.
What?
Bro's already gone senile.
That's right.
It's such a big tier list, he's already begun to lose himself. So yeah, we're starting here with God of War. Depending on how long Sonic and Dragon Ball take, we might get through more franchises this time, but yeah, who knows? So yeah, we starting with Kratos versus Spawn, and we're going to begin with a little discussion. Where are all the God of War characters?
Don't need them.
Like, one thing, I know people have only played the new games. Where's Thor? He's like a major character in Ragnarok. Where's Thor? You know? That's like the big one.
Yeah, Adam.
Where's like, I feel like Thanatos could probably be on here. He's like the villain of his own entire game. Where's he? Just saying. You know? Where are all the characters? Where's Hades? Hades, he's in several games. Idea.
That's a different game.
Well, there probably is a Hades present for a different game, yes.
But first, we've got Ares.
Ares! I would love to see him if he had any matchups, but he does not. So, yeah, because like Ares is pretty damn important, and I think
about where I'm at.
It'd be great to see him, partially because he would be able to focus on the story of the Greek stuff. Because you notice in Death Battle, Kratos' first episode kind of just glosses over his story because it's season 1, and only really focuses on God of War 3, and then his new episode goes into the start of the cosmology from, I believe, it's either Ascension or Ghost of Sparta. I'm forgetting. It starts with the cosmology off, and then it just blasts through the Greek stuff to go straight to the Norse stuff, which I don't like. I want them to do stuff like that if they can help it, personally. I've not watched the Simo and Kyle preview. The whole episode is probably out by the time this video is out, but people told me that they blast really fast through part 1 of Gurren Lagann, which could go without, but
not totally unfair for the sake of the matchup, I suppose.
It's unfair to me, in my opinion. I know Kyle Rayner probably doesn't have enough story going on to match up to a full series, just because no one in DC gives a shit about Kyle Rayner.
Oh, so actually, here's a fun fact I want to drop for you right now. Is there are so little clips of Kyle Rayner because he's only been in one animated appearance like fucking ever, and it was one episode of a Justice League show, that if you look up Kyle Rayner on Tenor Gift Search right now through Discord, one of the first things you'll find, one of the only things you'll find, is a motion graphic that DJ made that's in the Kyle Rayner preview.
That's fucking amazing.
It's really funny.
Yeah, and one of the others is literally just like a screen cap of him as White Lantern scrolling up screen. Kyle Rayner's only got one appearance outside the comics as White Lantern, and that is Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham.
I know a lot of people were saying, oh, it's been like 10 years since they've used Kyle Rayner and anything. Guess what, motherfuckers? He's coming back. A new Green Lantern event with him at the helm. Well, what are the odds? Death Battle Curse strikes again.
Well, so like Kyle has more appearances than just that one episode. It's just that no one's looked at them. He's got two episodes of appearances, I believe, in the DCAU. Not counting like a cameo, I believe. And he's in a couple video games, and that would be it. I think. Wait.
Wow.
I think he's in the Injustice comic, but he just kind of dies.
That tracks.
Yeah, so we're gonna have the first ever. Not only is Death Battle gonna present the first ever animated appearance of Eighth Gate Rock Lee, but it's also going to be the first ever animated appearance of White Lantern. And honestly, if Kyle loses, it's going to be 100% because DC gives so little shit about him that they just don't let him do anything.
We've only got one character on the fucking tier list, and we've already gone off the rails.
Alright, Atreus.
I don't really care to see a whole episode with him.
The issue with Atreus is they're very clearly setting up they're just going to have more in the future. Like, they're going to really expand on him in the future. That's what's being set up. And so I think, even if I did care to see a whole episode on him, right now is the worst time. It's premature. He's got enough stuff to work with. I just think, let him have a bit more so he has more of his own thing going on. That's where I would have to sit for him right now. I won't put him at the bottom, because he does actually have enough to go off. I just think it should be waited on. Right, Boulder. No.
Nah.
Again, I think if any Norse god was going to get on Death Battle from God of War, it has to be Thor. Because Thor actually has like a full story going on. He has an arc, it ends. He's got a lot of appearances in that game. Odin does too, but the thing is, Odin gets one fight in the whole game.
Should I get into spoilers?
4?
God of War, Ragnarok specifically, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you haven't played God of War Ragnarok, skip ahead a couple minutes. Technically, Atreus is a Norse god.
That's not a God of War Ragnarok spoiler. That's a God of War 2016 spoiler.
That's right. It's like the very tail end of that.
At the very end, he's like, what I don't get is the name the Giants called me by. They called me Loki. Shut up, boy. That name doesn't matter. It's a stupid sounding name.
Shut up, next game.
But if as I've already said, I don't need to see Atreus yet. Thor would be the one. You know? Thor is the guy he's got a full, like, cinematic fight you can use that's so long that it'd probably be longer on its own than the entire analysis for basically any character these days. Or ever.
Well, guess who's not on the tier list?
Yeah, why isn't Thor on the tier list? And you know, where are all the Greek gods, bro? Like, come on, bro.
Well, don't worry, we got Deimos.
Yeah, actually, where's Freya? Hold on, where's Freya? She
don't need her.
Is very much warranting a whole episode compared to fucking Boulder. Like, Deimos is here because I suggested him, because I thought it'd be funny. Right? I thought it'd be funny for Deimos to be on here. But, like, Freya, unironically, you got stuff to work with. A whole character arc there. Where's Atlas? I'm pretty sure he was, like, a main villain at one point. Like,
all very good questions for Adam.
He's the final boss of Chain of Olympus, I believe. Where's he? If you're gonna put Boulder, where's Atlas? You know? There's just so much missing from here. Like, it's not like I'm asking, put Medusa on here. Put Medusa, put Kronos. Actually, no, do put Kronos on here. Where is Kronos?
Please put Icarus.
Please put Icarus on here. No, put Kronos on here. He should be on here. He's got so much going on relative to Boulder.
Deimos.
Yeah, Deimos. No, but Deimos versus Virgil would really be funny.
I could see it. Odin.
For me, Odin's great in Ragnarok, but he's great because of how different he is to Zeus. Zeus is the guy you could use in Death Battle. He's got multiple, like, stages to his boss fight. He's got a lot of action stuff going on, a huge presence throughout all the games, in terms of, like, his actions and what he does and his interactions with the characters. Odin is great for all the reasons that would make him terrible on Death Battle. He's pretty much behind the scenes the whole time. He never gets into action. He's always manipulating people instead of getting into conflict. He is a great, like, subtle antagonist. One who uses Thor to do his dirty work, so Thor should be on the list, while he himself is just kind of around. And when he does fight, he is the final boss, because he is the strongest guy around. It's just, that's not the way he wants to do things. And so I think Odin would not be not be that interesting to see on Death Battle.
Yeah, fair.
Zeus, however,
You basically covered them both in one go.
yeah, Zeus I think is fine. I think Zeus versus Deus from Asura's Wrath I think is pretty fucking cool. The small issue is that we did get Kratos versus Asura, but counterpoint, that sucked. So I'm gonna put this in like would be neat.
Yeah.
And it would also be like earlier. I mean, I guess like Deus would probably just get swept, but like, I don't really care. I don't care. All right, we're moving on to Spawn.
Billy Kincaid.
Billy Kincaid. Who did I suggest for this?
I don't fucking remember.
You didn't get to find out. All right, Jessica Priest or She Spawn, I think.
Well, there you go.
Don't think that is the right She Spawn. I don't know which She Spawn that is. I specifically chose Priest because I like the image of her with the big gun. Because she's the She Spawn that uses a really big gun for no reason. But
Cool.
you know, so Billy Kincaid. Yeah, okay, you're up.
Fucking, I don't fucking know anything about Billy Kincaid. I'm not a Spawn expert by any means.
Well, he's I'm putting him at the bottom because he is a nonce. So, let's. All right, Jason Wynn. Did he win your heart?
I don't know who Jason Wynn is either.
Yeah, this one I don't know. Malbolgia. There's like only matchup.
I don't
Mephisto,
necessarily
so.
need a Malbolgia episode.
I feel like Malbolgia could be cool, but his only matchup is like Mephisto. So like,
Mephisto's probably got something more interesting.
The Redeemer. I think Redeemer would be cool to see. Of all Spawn characters, aside from one that's coming up, I think Redeemer would be cool to see. I don't have a
I
matchup
like
for
his
him, though.
design. A little behind the scenes in the lead up to each death battle. There's a server I'm in where I change my profile picture and username to match a character from one of the series, and for Spawn Ghost Rider, I was anti-Spawnovan.
Are you Kitanovan right now?
I was Kitanovan, if you'd believe it, yeah.
God, I know Don so well. What's your thought on Kitan?
Crazy
of
story.
Kitan versus Yamcha? Because I just saw that brought up.
Kitan Yamcha?
It made me.
We'll talk about it when we get to Yamcha, because he's right down there.
No, Yamcha's already got a slot because if you remember, we covered him in the DBX one, so that's why I'm bringing it up now.
Oh, that's right.
Yamcha is
So
currently.
I think thematically it's fine. I don't really want to see Yamcha fight a giant robot because I don't think it plays into him very well. I don't think it plays into Kitan very well. And
Hey, do we have Yamcha?
I don't know. It's a fine comparison.
He's in
I
doubt.
like both of them a lot. I really, really like both characters, but I don't think it would be a very interesting fight.
Fair enough. All right, She Spawn.
Let me think what else. I'm trying to think of my other fucking screen names for the different death battles.
I'm gonna put
there
She
was,
Spawn in Who This because I don't actually know which She Spawn that is. Because that could not be the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I don't either. I was Don 117 for Master Chief Doom guy.
Well, that's not very creative. You should have been Noble
I was
Dawn.
Don Poster, or no, I was Tamago from the Among Us manga.
That is
I was
so
Tamaganovan,
Dawn.
I think.
That is extremely Dawn.
Yeah. Let me think. I don't think I was one for Omni-Man Bardock, but then for Jordan Joker, who the fuck was I? I don't think I did one for that either. Bowser Eggman, I was some fucking like some minion. What was I?
I'm gonna be.
Because I don't remember if I was a Bowser minion or an Eggman minion.
I'm gonna be so honest, Don. You have massive cheap chomp energy.
No, it wasn't Cheap Chomp.
You have a big Bertha.
For a while I was Bomberman, but that wasn't related to anything, I don't think. And then for a while I was,
sure you
or for
weren't?
right now I'm Cloth. I'm a shiny
sure
Cloth.
You sure you weren't Boss Bass?
I wasn't a fish, I don't think.
I know, you just have major Boss Bass energy. Okay, Don.
Sam was
Don. We've gotten off topic again. Yeah, we finished one franchise.
Violator. I don't know. I don't really care for Violator that much, specifically just because like I don't like his name.
Alright. I think I'd be down for it if he had a good matchup. He does not. He has no matchup. So like there is
Violator versus Pen.
No. Alright, we're moving on to Bomberman, I believe.
Bomberman.
You can take over this.
Who the fuck cares about Bagheera?
Well, I mean, you're the Bomberman guy. I wonder if you can tell which one I put in for this.
Did you put in Metal Ooh?
Yeah. Of course I did.
No, Bagheera is a fucking whatever. Who cares? Metal Ooh is a who dis. The 5 Dastardly Bombers, I guess I wouldn't be opposed to. I do like Bomberman R and its new characters, but like, I don't know if they need a whole death battle. The rubies are just items, basically.
Okay, so we can... oh wait, not
Sirius is cool. I do like Sirius.
Who? Oh, that's the guy with the... That's the
He's
one
from
with the universe level feats, I believe. Alright, so...
Yeah,
what's your matchup?
He's from Bomberman 64, I think.
Well, what's your matchup, Don?
I don't think I have a specific matchup for him, but someone from just like that era, like Bomberman 64, would be cool.
That's what I thought. Alright, we can move on to Dig Dug. Frygar!
So, first of all, that is not called a Frygar, that's called a Fygar. There is no R at the beginning of it. It is a Fygar.
Oh wait, no, he's correct.
Adam.
Because in Japanese it's Fyga. So like...
Yeah, it's Fygar.
Adam, are you stupid? Yeah, who dis? I don't know who this is. Wrong name. Alright.
So, Fygars and Pukas are the 2 types of enemies you find in the original Dig Dug arcade cabinet. Pukas are just tomatoes. They walk around, they go through dirt, and then if they touch you, you die. Fygars are a little trickier because I think their AI is a little smarter, and they have a little fire attack they can spew out. Other than that, there's nothing to know about these 2.
Okay, I don't know who this is, because you said Fygar, this clearly says something else, so...
Yeah, so we're gonna put Frygar in who dis, and then Puka in... Doesn't need one, though. I do love Pukas. I think they're really cute.
I'm gonna be honest, Puka, that's a not death battle moment. It's like if Killer Tomatoes get a run back, it's gonna be against the Pukas or something. No, it'd be against Killer Clowns, but if they got another one, it'd be Puka. If there was gonna be any Batman of not death battle, Killer Tomatoes would be a pretty damn good choice. Alright, Kissy Baraduke. I love Kissy. She's great, and she's perfect, and I'm gonna put her in Would Be Neat, because I do genuinely really like Kissy versus Samus, but also there's like so many other Samus options out there that I think would be better. So, you know...
Yeah. Mr. Driller's a fine shout. I don't mind it.
I think he's gonna be like, no matchup. Like, what matchup is Mr. Driller got? That's not like...
Yeah, what's the Mr. Driller matchup? Oh, it's it's Jill Dozer.
Who? I feel like I recognize the name.
From Drill Dozer. It's a... Drill Dozer's a Game Freak game for the GBA where you play as this girl in a mech and you fucking drill things to solve puzzles and do like platforming stuff.
Yes. Okay, hold on. There might be some...
Yeah, she's an assist trophy in Smash Brawl.
Yeah. Hold on. That may be cooking. Hold on. Mr. Driller, you get a promotion. You get to be next to your mum. Alright. Oh god, Dragon Ball. Okay. I wonder if you can you guess which character I put in here? It's either really obvious or not obvious at all.
My guess is Silas.
Yeah, because why else would he be there?
I can tell you why, but I'll wait. So for anyone that doesn't know, after Pokemon, Dragon Ball is my favorite franchise ever. If there's anyone that's going to know about literally all of these characters, it's me.
Yeah. I'm just wondering why.
Android 16.
Yeah.
I think Android 16 versus Astro Boy is pretty fine thematically. The thing is, like, nobody's favorite Astro Boy matchup is Android 16.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind 16 because he's got like such a unique character, and I think his fighting style is very different to all the other Dragon Ball characters, right? Because pretty much all these other characters, super fast, like speed combos. 16 is a very like just one big hit at a time sort of guy, and that does make him distinctly unique among them. As well as the fact he's the only android that is an android, I believe, on this list. I don't think 19's here. Of course he's not.
Hold on, let me look over real quick. I think 21's completely artificial. She might, well, no, because she has some like alien DNA in her, so she's not entirely.
I'm not
an
counting
android.
21 or Cell because they are organic in a sense.
Yeah. So yeah, 16 would be the only strictly android.
So I put 16 in like would be neat. Like I'm for it. I don't. Dragon Ball's got a hard hill to climb for me though.
That's fair.
17.
That's totally fair. 17 and 16 I feel like are in a similar boat for me, where like they're really cool. A lot of the stuff they got in later content is cool, and especially video games. Their canon material is so few and far between, and they have so little to like actually talk about. I don't think they warrant a whole episode to themselves.
17 also has an issue where like 16 you can put him against Astro Boy. 17's matchup is Cyborg, who kills him by looking at him funny.
It also just doesn't make that much sense.
Yeah, they are indeed cyborgs. They do indeed probably not have the best dad, if you count Jiro's 17's dad.
But like that also applies to 18. So like,
yeah, well, see, because Dawn 18 is a woman.
True, I hadn't considered that.
Android 21. So she has got Jack O Valentine.
She does. I think it's a pretty good
that
matchup.
Is a really fucking cool matchup. Just like aesthetically, because 21 is from fighters. I don't think I'd put it in the top tier.
Yeah.
Because 21's like not the most exciting character to me, but I think the matchup is pretty cool. Z Broly.
She's exciting for plenty of other people. Z Broly's cool. At a point, I would have told you that I've come around to Z Broly versus Astra just because, like, I think the story you could tell with it would be simple enough but very effective. I think the fight would be really cool.
Not Death Battle moment because I'm tempted to do Broly versus Asura.
And there's also like, it might be kind of debatable depending what all you give them.
Yeah, I think it would come down probably to the fact that Broly can't keep Azura down. I think power output and speed is going to be at a very similar range, where it's like both universal, debatably really high in to an unknown degree, both massively faster than light to a comparable degree, potentially infinite on both sides. The difference is that Broly
Have you seen...
can be completely obliterated and he will die, and Azura will just get back up.
Yeah. Have you seen the video? There's a dude called Casual Anime Guy Explains, and he makes videos about mostly Dragon Ball, but he made a video essay type thing talking about how just as much as Goku is based on Sun Wukong, so too is Broly, and he talks about how like things I had never really caught on, like a lot of his design elements are lifted from elements that were originally going to be part of Goku's design but weren't, and like a lot of the parallels not lifted from Journey to the West are like sort of echoed in the first Broly movie. It's very subtle. You have to read into it a little bit, but I think it's an interesting video essay anyway.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Right. By the way, episode wise, we're on to Vegeta Shadow now, in case anyone's wondering.
Episode.
Like in terms of the Death Battle episode we're at for the franchises, We started Kratos Spawn, then Bomberman Dig Dug, and now we're on Vegeta Shadow.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay.
So, okay, Kaba.
Gotcha.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah,
I've got to
like,
be honest.
don't get me
who
wrong. I like Kaba well
gives a
enough. He doesn't
shit?
need his whole episode.
And, you know, Cauliflower, same thing for me.
Yeah, Cauliflower and Kaba are like equally as relevant. That's completely fair. Cell, yeah. Cell should get a death battle.
Yeah, he's already up there. We got him there for Selgaro. Cronoa. Why is
I really
she
like Cronoa. As
on
far as
here?
extended Dragon Ball canon stuff, she's probably my favorite character in like video game original shit.
I like Cronoa, but I don't know if I need to see. Where's the Ace? Like, where's Ace on this?
Yeah, Ace not being here is a little weird. Cauliflower is interesting because actually going proper into like the story of Super Dragon Ball Heroes and like / regular Dragon Ball Heroes and like Xenoverse and stuff, because like with Trunks you have to cover the regular Trunks stuff too. With Goku you'd have to do the same.
They didn't.
She is completely original to this, so
They
you would get to go
absolutely
into the
did not
lore of the
cover
Supreme
regular
Kaiser
Trunks at
time, about the Time Nest.
Don't make up an excuse for why Trunks
Well, they
analysis
didn't,
was
but,
so
like,
bad. They just like to make
But
jokes about heroes.
I think it would be pretty interesting to see exclusively Xeno stuff.
I'm realizing now when Mewtwo Cooler drops, there is a chance that is the closest we get to Death Battle covering Xenoverse or Heroes stuff, like, but actually addressing what happens in it. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah,
for
I think
Mewtwo
Cronoa is
Cooler.
cool.
I've
It's
already
just a
shown
matter of
Golden
I don't really
Cooler.
have a matchup for her.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Cronoa. She's got no matchups, and also Cronoa in a show just for her fighting. Not sure that's the part of her I like the most, to be honest.
She's got some cool enough stuff because I
but
know.
Kumba.
I think it was for either an anniversary celebration or like a download celebration for Xenoverse. Where she became
is
playable, and I know she's got some extra
Pycon?
forms and stuff in Heroes.
Don, where is Pycon?
Where is Pycon?
Adam, you got Kumba on here, but no Pycon?
Cumber the Evil Saiyan. My favorite recurring bit with Cumber is I was showing my friend Super Dragon Ball Heroes, and he's like, how does this guy start doing worse in every battle as soon as he transforms more?
Right?
It's like transforming makes him weaker. I'm like, yeah, base Cumber is his strongest form.
Like, base Kumba absolutely mogs Goku and Vegeta early on, and then Super Saiyan Kumba gets his shit pushed in by Golden Meta Cooler, who then goes on to just job to fucking Z Broly.
I'll have to send you a video sometime too. It's this dude with like a fucking dinosaur Sona type thing talking about the power scaling of Super Dragon Ball Heroes, and it's like just taking like known multipliers and like guesstimates and stuff. Here's how fucking absurd it is if we take every instance of someone suddenly losing to a weaker form as that person just got way stronger now. And I'm like, that's a really funny thing to measure. And by the end, it was numbers that just you couldn't fucking ever fathom.
I'm gonna be honest, Kumba, he's in Not Death Battle moment. He is a very Not Death Battle centered character.
He is. Dabura. Or Dabra. He
Hold
sure
on.
is.
I just realized Toa's on here, but I don't see Mira. What?
Oh yeah.
Like, Mira's the fight guy.
Dabra
you have
should fight.
Silas here, but no Mira.
Dabra should fight Teen Titans Go Trigon.
So yeah, no need for this. I don't think we need Dabra. Gotenks. I'd love to see Gotenks, but I've not got a matchup for him I actually like.
I know Gotenks versus Platinum the Trinity exists, but it's also like I don't need a whole Gotenks episode. I don't fucking care.
I think Gotenks is like neat because he brings something different that the other Dragon Ball characters don't, and it'd be the only time where like the fusion thing can actually be addressed in an interesting way. Is like, does it still count if it's Goten and Trunks fighting as a Gotenks win if they win? There is something to talk about with Gotenks. That
could have been brought up if they would have used either of Goku and Vegeta's fusions against somebody else, but I guess we can't have nice things, can we?
Gotenks I'm going to put in Shaw with like no matchup because like he's got nothing good and interesting. Put him against someone silly. He needs to go against someone who can play off his silliness. Because I think otherwise, like, putting Gotenks in a normal-ass Dragon Ball matchup sounds like a complete waste. Janemba. I feel like I'm in a very similar position with Janemba. Except he's actually got like nothing
I
to
really
talk
like
about.
Janemba. I fucking love Fusion Reborn. I
I
don't
know.
need a whole episode with Janemba because he's there for 2 fights,
But
really.
Janemba is even less of a thing than Gotenks, and has no matchups. So it's like a terrible
So
combo.
fun fact, or rather, a trivia question for you, Nem. Name the one character in canon Dragon Ball material that Gotenks has ever beaten.
Oh, it's. I feel like it's gonna be someone from Super.
Nope.
Really.
Really. He has, I think, 3 fights in Super. He loses to Copy Vegeta, he loses to Beerus, and I want to say he showed up some other time and got folded then
Did he
too.
not beat up some Frieza soldiers?
I don't think so. I don't think they brought them along.
Okay.
He contributed to the win against Cell Max, but contributed as much as Krillin using him like a projectile to throw at Cell Max counts.
Did he beat anyone in Yosun Goku and his friends return?
He did.
Okay, it's from that then.
Yeah, it is the main villain of that special, Avocado, which it is Avocado.
So I was
the purple fusion between 2 random Frieza soldier nobodies.
I did manage to guess it because I'm the only person who remembers Avocado.
That is the only win Gotenks has ever had in any canon Dragon Ball material, and that's insane to me.
Yeah, and that's like quote unquote canon, because let's be honest. They never really.
They mentioned that.
They mentioned
that Tarbal exists in Super. That's it.
That's it. All right, who's next? Jiren the Grey. I feel like this is like.
I like Jiren. I think.
Of course you do.
Jiren versus Atrocitus is a fine matchup. I think it could make for a fine death battle. The only thing is that, like, I wish we got a little more of Jiren. That's not saying that I loved his character so much that I really just need to see more of him. It's that, like, in the Super manga, we actually get to spend a little time with him doing superhero stuff before the Tournament of Power. And it's a little endearing just to see him, like, be passionate about something and, like, know his thoughts about anything other than strength is key.
That is the best part of Jiren, is when he's not just the strength is everything guy, but the like protecting these fucking people is everything guy. But he's literally
which is why I think Jiren versus Atrocitus is potentially cool, because like having Atrocitus try to tempt him with like, I can like sense the rage within you, I can sense the like want for power, this can give it to you, and Jiren, like, being the intergalactic superhero he is, probably knows that this dude is bad news. He's like, as much as I understand that probably would give me power, that would probably lead to me hurting a lot of people I don't need to hurt.
That said, Super Anime Jiren, I feel like, would probably go for it. Like, he kind of...
Yeah, fucking absolutely.
I'm gonna put him in indifferent just
he tried to murder Goku's friends just because Goku was like, dude, you don't have any friends.
I'm gonna put Jiren in indifferent because no matter what you say, at the end of the day, it's gonna be anime Jiren first and foremost, and he is just kind of shit in anime. Like, the manga version gives him a character, it gives him a personality to a degree. In the anime, he's just a massive prick.
I was gonna say, at least like the fight would be cool. I don't want to shit on animation too much, but like Omnidoc and Friezatron and am I forgetting something? Gogeta Vegito, like, they're fine technically speaking. They look decent. It's just like not the most engaging. It's very generic Dragon Ball stuff.
Just say I've seen clips of Friezatron, and every single clip is just Megatron getting his shit pushed in. Did he just get rocked the whole time? Because every clip seems to just be him getting his ass kicked. And then he says one really bad fucking, "Oh, Frieza, you're a loser." And then he does a big hit on Frieza, and then Frieza just goes, "No," and kills him. That's
Frieza, you suck, antimatter. Haha, no, I'm Frieza.
Like, I've actually read, I read the fucking, like, line, because someone sent it to me, and I was like, what is this? How is any of this gonna piss Frieza off? He's like, "Ha, you're the king of no army." And Frieza's like, "Yes, and I don't care. You're the ruler of this dying world. Yes, I've blown up worlds that I owned before. Why would I care?" And just imagining Megatron
Quite
going,
literally threw it at you so it would explode and kill you, but, you know.
I have no idea what else to say to annoy you. You're short.
It doesn't read well.
I still really wish we got the interaction of, like, Frieza dives in and tries to hit him, because, like, Megatron's a pretty big target. Megatron shrinks down into a normal-sized handgun and just blasts him in the fucking eyes.
Did he not turn to a gun at any point?
Nope.
What?
He turns into a tank, and I've
seen several different clips of him shooting Kamehamehas from his cannon. So clearly they did not give a shit about Megatron in that fight.
Fuck, does he just turn into a tank? Hold on, I'm trying to think. I don't think he used his, like, StarCraft form. I don't think he turned into a gun. I think it might have just been the tank
There was this one clip I saw that, like, had mass to the Energon mace. Which, like, that's not how that works. It's made of massless energy. It is a really silly weapon, but it does not have mass. Because it is, like, just pure Energon. Oh, it's...
yeah,
I'm
but
sure
this time it does.
If I watched the whole fight, maybe these issues would not be as bad to me, but I just kind of get the feeling they'd still suck. Alright, Kale. Giant ad in the middle of my screen.
I don't like Kale very much.
How do I get rid of this giant fucking ad? Okay, it's gone. Kale, no. No need. Kefla. She probably has more...
Don't need Kefla.
I want to
She exists for literally a fight.
I want to put her above Cauliflower and Kale, but there's no tier above them that I think is fitting for her. Moro. I think he should get more episodes on Death Battle. I think the episodes he does do are really good.
Okay, but when is not Death Battle going to do Moro versus T-Rex?
I'd be tempted if I could animate it. But I would focus on T-Rex, the one from G1. Nappa. Oh god, I mean, speaking of not Death Battle coded. So, who and I were...
Yeah, everybody keeps pushing for Nappa versus Conquest, and it's like, I get it. I get the vision. I really do. Do you really want to see a whole Nappa analysis? Do you really?
Who and I genuinely were thinking of doing every Naruto character versus Nappa? Because, like, a Cyberman
like
is
Luigi versus FNAF?
Yeah, because, like, a Cyberman basically, like, almost outstats every character. So Nappa would massively outstat everyone. But he does not have the hacks going on. So there could be, like, a debate there. Unless I give Nappa everything,
There
which
very
means
well
he's got
could
Super
be.
Saiyan 3, which would be really unfair. So I wouldn't do that. But yeah, like Luigi
Nappa fucking stat stomping everybody at the same time, wiping out all the strongest characters just to get hit with a Reaper Death Seal by fucking Konohamaru.
I was thinking like he gets hit with the Genjutsu and his response is to just do a fucking big key explosion. He can't tell what the hell's going on, but he can just explode.
I imagine not even that. They do a Genjutsu and he's like spaced out, hallucinating, but like them trying to blow him up still doesn't work because he's just too difficult.
What would it take to kill him? It would take like the TSO. They could do it, I think.
The TSOs could do it. Reaper Death Seal could do it. Hedon's Death Curse could do it.
I don't think he could.
You could
escape.
potentially seal him away. I don't think he has any resistance to sealing.
I think Tsukuyomi would work, or would be something he could escape from, like Infinite Tsukuyomi.
Maybe.
Like I feel like that's a Genjutsu.
Because the Tsukuyomi operates so fast that it's like I guess it depends who's using it and what they're doing with it. Because like Itachi can kill someone basically instantly with the Tsukuyomi. The reason the Infinite Tsukuyomi didn't kill everyone is because that's not what Madara was trying to do with it. If he tried to do that with it, it probably could have.
So Kaguya would be in this fight. Could she not just take Nappa to space somehow?
Probably. For that matter, fucking Ai's like secretary who has like the fucking light speed travel technique where she like sends objects or people at the speed of light. Just do that to Nappa, send him into space.
Yeah, and like he would not be able to breathe. But like if the thing is, if the Naruto crew didn't have proper teamwork, Nappa would just bowl through them. That's really funny. And also Nappa fighting off a
The
bunch of
Pilaf
guys.
gang.
Hold on, Nappa fighting off a bunch of guys much weaker than him is completely accurate to Nappa. That is the one thing he ever did. The analysis is going to be really funny because Huan's going to be doing the long side this time, and he'll have to cover the entirety of Naruto, and I will have like, how many chapters is Nappa even in? Like, barely any.
I can check. Hold on.
Like, I want to say, I'm gonna just say 5. That feels maybe a bit too small. I'm gonna say 5 chapters of Nappa.
What? He has an unnamed mother, apparently. In episode 26, he mentions his mother.
Oh, based.
I guess, yeah, it would. We can assume every Saiyan has parents, deceased or otherwise. This is how they reproduce.
I mean, yeah, at least deceased. I mean, they're probably all deceased. Yeah, you know. Funnily enough, Don, I think that's how genocide works. So yeah, Pilaf Gang. Where did we put Team Rocket? Oh wait. Pokemon hasn't been touched yet, so we haven't looked at Team Rocket yet. Hold on.
So he debuts in 204. He is mentioned in 205 through 208. Is not mentioned in 209 or 210. Is mentioned in 211 and 212. And then actually appears in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he actually appears in 14 chapters, and then his debut, so 15, I guess, altogether. And then 1 episode of GT, if you want to count it.
I wouldn't. He would just win, I think, by being, like, even 0.1 trillion% the power of any character around him.
Okay, so do you want to take a guess what he does in GT?
It's when like, hell opens up, isn't it?
Hell opens up, and literally, it cuts to Nappa, and he's, like, killing some civilians. And then Vegeta goes, "Hey, Nappa," and then Nappa tries to attack him, and Vegeta just immediately vaporizes him. So there is no reason to assume he scales to any degree of anyone.
That's brilliant. So
The
Nappa's
Pilaf Gang.
in 14 chapters, right? Naruto has 700
700
chapters.
even.
So yeah, Pilaf Gang. What's your thought on Pilaf Gang versus Team Rocket?
I don't like it very much because the Pilaf Gang have exactly 1 machine, whereas Team Rocket has a new one every episode. The Pilaf Gang have exactly 1 woman with a gun, and I guess Pilaf owns a chainsaw for offensive power. Team Rocket owns all of these Pokemon.
Have you considered DBZ Kakarot?
DBZ Kakarot does not count. And also, if we want a Team Rocket matchup, Dr. Doofenshmirtz is right there. Literally every episode they have a new machine. Literally every episode the machine explodes and they get foiled once again. Literally every episode they're trying to fight and capture a sentient animal that has expert combat prowess. Like, it is Team Rocket versus Dr. Doofenshmirtz is right there. It's borderline perfect.
Yo, what else is right there, Don? Raditz.
I think you know what tier this goes in.
Yeah, I'm going to put him right at the top.
Rob versus Raditz, my beloved, my magnum opus, my greatest creation.
Right, Silas, the main villain of Heroes, to my
Okay,
memory.
so do you know what Silas's whole gimmick is?
I know he's the main baddie in a lot of Heroes. That's not Fu. Wait, hold on. Where's
not
Fu?
even a lot of heroes, like Anarch.
Hold on, no. Where's Fu? Like, not to say I want to see his ass.
I don't fucking want to see Fu. I'm glad he's not here.
But you would not argue that he doesn't, that like he deserves to be here. Like, as like character-wise, at least just so we can put him in fuck off tier.
Just so I don't give Ray the satisfaction, no, I wouldn't say he deserves to be here.
Okay, but you'll think it. I can tell.
Silas is the Dragon Ball Heroes character designed by Toyotaro. Fun fact.
That part I know.
That's his like main bit.
Wow. Okay. So bottom tier.
And yeah, he's the villain for like an arc.
Okay. So
yeah, bottom tier. Sin Shenron. Do we need him?
Specifically, Sin Shenron, huh? I think it would be neat.
In my 10
Wait a
days
minute.
of teaching, I've never seen a class this bad.
I was gonna say there needs to be an AGT rep would be great. Where's Baby? Like, if we're talking representing
Adam.
GT at all, where's Baby? Adam. All right, Topo. You got Topo in here, but you don't have Baby.
The only thing of note, really, about Sin Shenron is the meme of him as Omega Shenron, where someone had a dream that he was their substitute teacher and got mad at them. And they recreated it. It's just like a shitty PNG of him stretched out over the front of a classroom thing. In my 10 days of teaching, I've never seen a class this bad.
So, there's a lot of Dragon Ball missing. I couldn't even remember all the ones missing, but like... Adam, where's Ace?
Topo versus the Lorax.
Where's Baby? Yeah, Topo, you're going in the... I don't even want to do you in Not Death Battle. I don't even think you got the juice for that. Alright, Toa. Alright, Mira's also missing. So, Toa. See, because the thing is, Toa's probably more prominent, like, as a character, but Mira's the one I'd be interested to actually see fight someone.
Yeah.
As a duo, maybe that'd be neat. If there was like a duo that could match against them.
As much as I fucking love Xenoverse, don't need Toa. Don't need her.
I feel like... No, I feel, if there was a duo of characters, like villains, who could match up to Toa and Mira, and, like, be thematic and all that, that would be cool. Toa on her own is not interesting. You got Turles on here! But no Baby!
Turles has to fight Ryoko from fucking... what the fuck is Ryoko from, actually? Hold on, let me think.
If I can be perfectly honest, Turles also comes off as a very not Death Battle combatant.
Hold on. Tenchi Muyo, that's what it's called. Yeah, Turles versus Ryoko from Tenchi Muyo. There you go, there's your matchup.
Are you sure?
Yep.
What about Turles versus Kaguya, because they eat a fruit and then they become really strong.
They do. That is true.
All right, Videl Satan. Seeing her name written out like that's really weird.
Fun fact: that is not her name.
Because like Dragon Ball characters don't carry last names over at any point to my memory.
Yeah. So
the closest is Son
Bulma
Gohan,
makes a comment
Son
about
Goku.
it in original Dragon Ball. And Videl makes a comment about it in the Buu saga, that it's strange that Goku and Gohan have Son as a family name, because people in Dragon Ball in age 737 and onward don't have family names traditionally.
Which is why,
which means Bulma's last name is not Brief.
Bulma Briefs is a big misconception, I think, that I see a lot.
Yeah. Videl Satan is not her name. Mr. Satan is not even Mr. Satan's name.
His
name
Mark.
is Mark. Mr. Satan is a stage name. The same way that Hulk Hogan's real name is not Hulk Hogan, and his son, if his son were named David, would not be fucking David Hogan.
No, it would be David Bollier. Just for that, who this? I don't know who this character is. That's not. I don't know any character named Videl Satan.
There's also Videl has one fight in the series, and it's Popovich beating her near
and it's like one of the
like,
least loved fights in the whole franchise. Because it's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like outside of that,
they put her
Videl
in
gets
fighters.
benched and turns into a cheerleader.
And her entire moveset is summoning Gohan to fight for her.
That's what they do every time they have Videl playable in a game. If your moveset in every fighting game you show up in is summoning somebody else, you don't have enough of a moveset.
Maybe
for a
Videl versus Lois Lane's the matchup.
Maybe.
All right, Zamasu. So Zamasu's matchup, I believe, is he has two notable ones. There's Hades, Saint
Gore.
Seiya, and Gore the God Butcher. Gore the God Butcher sounds really cool. Like, just the concept.
Yeah.
Like, here's a mortal who wants to kill
They
all
are
the
so
fucking gods.
antithetical to each other.
Yeah, here's a god who wants to kill all the mortals. They're both so high on each other's fumes. They represent exactly what each other hates about fucking the entire group they're trying to wipe out. Zamasu is the one god that justifies Gore's desire to kill them all. And Gore is the one mortal strong enough to justify Zamasu's want to wipe them out. That's a really cool, like, dynamic. And I don't know enough about Hades to comment on that, but visually I think it's quite cool.
You know what I think, Nem?
That Zamasu's a loser?
Something's biting. Have you seen my pollywog, pal?
I'm going to put Zamasu near the top just because while I don't like Zamasu himself that much, he's got two matchups that I think are pretty cool. One in particular that I think, like, just dynamically is fucking great. Yeah, Big the Cat. Alright, right in not death battle moment. Let's not even think otherwise. Let's just be perfectly honest with that.
Absolutely.
And, you know, probably against a fish, if I was going to do it. A Big the Cat versus some
Actually,
kind of fish or a frog. Or zits.
One of the highest selling manga ever is a fisherman character. He should fight him.
Okay, Big the Cat versus zits, though. Like Battletoads.
I don't fucking care about zits. I don't want to see Battletoads.
Froggy? Or against,
You're not Froggy.
or against what?
I think my favorite thing about Big is his odd relevance to Silver Sonic versus Quint, because he's seen in the background of that crossover playing cards with Quint, and then later, or I guess in a proper Sonic comic, Silver Sonic tries to run someone over, Big just catches him and fucking no-sells him and toe punches him across the room.
That's excellent. Silver Sonic's not on this list, but for once I'm not going to grill Adam for it, because that's like, there are exactly two people in the world who would want him on this list, and they are us. Blaze the Cat. I like Blaze a lot.
Oh, yeah, why not?
I would love to see her. I'm going to put her near the top, because the matchup that seems neat is the Xenoblade one, but I've not played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 yet, so I will not comment until I have.
The other one is Rivet from Ratchet and Clank, and I don't care.
I'm sure thematically it's neat, but, like, Rivet... Like, do I want to see Blaze the Cat fight a bunch of, like, guns? I think she's got guns, or am I just mistaken on that? Let me know. Engage with the video in the comments section. Alright, Chaos. You want to just like
no, because his matchup is Kyogre, and that's really fucking
Zygarde,
boring.
though. Zygarde. Don't you want to see Zygarde?
They're not gonna do Zygarde.
Oh, fine. All right, cream and cheese.
So you do Zygarde, NDB.
No, if I did Zygarde, it would be against Cell, and he would just get his shit pushed in, because I would put in Cell Max and Cell X and all that. Just things Cell should not have. Because Zygarde's gonna Zygarde's gonna get the full composite as all Pokemon do. So Cell, and now you got Zygarde lighting up, or Zygarde scaling to lighting up Ultra Space from Ultra Necrozma against Cell X existing too hard. Can you guess what Sonic character I put in here? My Sonic character is in here.
Void.
He knows me so well. Yeah, the Sonic Shuffle villain.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, so cream and cheese. No, I don't want to see cream and cheese in a death battle context. That doesn't sound fun.
But yeah, not really.
E123
Omega's cool. I know Sam really likes Omega versus Proto Man. Maybe that could be neat.
Yeah, I guess that's like it would be neat. I'm putting him right next to Android 16. It makes me wonder if 16 versus Omega should be a not death battle just because it sounds funny.
You know, I could see it.
All right. ML. I love ML. Do I think he warrants a death battle on his own?
No.
Not. Okay, he's got Claptrap, which I think is most interesting for the fact that it is indeed like Borderlands, I think. Borderlands matchup. And you don't see many of those. So I think I'll give him points for that, because it's such a unique combination and such a weird matchup, like, conceptually. Infinite.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We did already cover Espio, didn't we? I was confused there for a second.
Yeah, Espio's already in the fucking bottom tier.
Infinite's already been on Death Battle.
Actually, no. We put Infinite in above bottom tier because I think the logic was he deserves to be above Greninja, but for the sake of actually having a character to him. So he's just remained there.
Yeah.
Jet the Hawk.
No.
No.
Is there
If there was like
character that doesn't exist outside of Mario
a Mario Kart exclusive villain, Biff Weed. Comment section.
Pink Gold Peach.
An actual character is the thing. Archie Knuckles. No.
Pink Gold Peach is a distinctly different character from Peach.
Mephiles the Dark. I would like Mephiles more if they expanded on what they did in Shadow Generations. I think I mentioned this. If Mephiles was turned into like this entity that's like a persistent, like all the characters can time travel, right? They never address why they don't do that. If Mephiles was like the explanation for that, like he's trying so desperately to put himself back in the timeline that anytime someone tries to time travel, he like tries to hijack it, that would be a great like lore explanation for why nobody tries time traveling anymore, even though fucking everyone can do it. And it would make something of Mephiles as a character. But as he is now, I do not think he'd be very interesting as an episode. He is just half.
To rewind to Archie Knuckles a little bit.
Oh, just ignoring Mephiles. Okay, I see.
I think Archie Knuckles would have been fun at a point where Death Battle leaned a little more into the absurdity of the characters than just like, look how absurdly powerful they are. Look at the scale of this thing they can do. Look how fast they are. Look how unquantifiably strong they are. Look at all the hacks they have. Because like, the shit that happens in Archie Sonic's story, particularly around Knuckles, his spin-off and the lore of the Echidnas, is horrible. But it is such a fascinating garbage fire that I would love to see like season 2 or 3 Wizard Boomstick talk about it.
And instead, you don't have that. Rouge the Bat. No.
Nope.
Because Rouge's matchup would be Sly Cooper. And I don't want to see her... I don't want to see her fucking boots going like 3 feet through Sly Cooper's head the moment she looks at him funny. It's just such a...
Plus Sly has to fight Lupin.
Yeah. Sage. She was already on Death Battle. And
Yep.
I wouldn't want to see a solo battle with her for now.
I don't care enough about Scourge, really.
Nah, I'm not into Scourge. Silver. Okay. Now...
How fucking redundant would this be?
My issue is his matchup. So first of all, Silver has everything that Archie Silver does, but less.
Yes.
So that's a big
His
point
matchup is
against
also
it.
Trunks.
His matchup is also Trunks again. And his story-wise, I feel like Archie Silver was just like Silver's story already, but like more expanded upon in a different direction. I don't know. Silver for me is... I wouldn't put him at the bottom because I think there is some degree to which I understand people want to see the Silver they actually fucking know. But I do not think that he is necessary. Hold on, Adam put Cetrion for Mortal Kombat, but didn't put Baby or Fu or Mira for Dragon Ball. Fleetway Sonic.
Fleetway Sonic.
Let's not pretend like we know anything about Fleetway Sonic except for the fact that it is Super
Fleetway Sonic is
crazy.
just one of those characters that seems like people only want him because they want to hear about how badass and OP and morally fucked up this evil Sonic is, and it's like, I don't care.
No,
that doesn't sound like anything I like about Sonic as a franchise.
In honor of every Fleetway Sonic fan in the Verse community, I'm going to put him in Who Dis because no one has fucking read those comics and nobody knows this character. They know the reputation of this character, but not who he is. Sticks.
Sticks.
I like Sticks, and I think it would be cool to see like a Boom, pretty much a Boom exclusive character. It's like a whole new avenue of scaling. Death Battle's not touched, and it's a whole new side of the franchise. My question is, what matchup exactly are we going off here? No,
Ughtar from the Mario cartoon.
Yeah, so sure, but no matchup. Don, we really needed Fu in this one because then it would balance out that Don hates you and Nemesis hates you tiers to be equal again.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Surge, the Tenrek, I think. Surge seems cool.
Yeah, I really like Surge.
Can someone give me a Surge matchup? No? Okay.
The Surge matchup I like is Fern the Human from Adventure Time. Basically, a different universe, Finn gets turned into a sword and merges with Finn's grass sword, and it becomes a grass version of Finn, who has a horrible existential crisis because he has all the memories of and technically is still Finn, but he's a grass monster and now exists separately from Finn. And so he's not who he is. And I think he's such a fascinating character. I really like him. I wish we got a little more time with him, but we do have like 2 whole seasons with him. So it's not like he's starved for content or like you couldn't make an episode out of him.
Okay.
I think his like heel turn / imposter syndrome plays very well off of Surge's. I think their absurd resilience plays well off each other. I think they're remarkably violent for a Sonic and Adventure Time character. I think they play pretty well off each other.
Okay, have you considered Tangle the Lemur, though?
Tangle the Lemur is one of 2 canonically lesbian Sonic characters, so that's fun.
Is that what you have to say?
I like that she has a long prehensile tail. That's funny. Lemurs don't have that, but...
A lemur, that's like a vaguely lemur-esque design trait. I feel like Tangle's like, hold on now, I don't know enough about this character to be certain. You know what, just because I know she probably has fans, I'll put her in sure but no matchup. Trip the Sun Gazer, I think?
Sun Gazer, yeah, she's from Sonic Superstars.
Trip the Lizard.
That's what a Sun Gazer is, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, she seems
like a
neat.
Lizard.
I'll put her in indifferent. Actually, I'll put Tangle in indifferent as
Hopefully
well.
she gets to be in something somebody likes someday.
Yeah. Vector, my goat. Not Death Battle.
Yeah.
Void. Okay.
Well, who's your Void matchup? Come on.
Extremely funny. So I'm going to put him in sure but no matchup. It would force people to address Sonic Shuffle scaling. It would be a character.
There's got to be a Mario
there
Party
has to
like
be.
Powerful main character, right?
Oh, let me look up Mario Party villain. Yep, that's what I thought. Bowser, King Boo, Kamek. Biff, again, in the comments if you could. My goat.
What about the fucking, like, Boardmaster type characters?
Alright, Whisper,
That's the other lesbian one. That's Tangle's girlfriend.
Yeah, Whisper the lesbian.
She has a cool mask and a gun.
That's not
cane.
Her name. She's a wolf. I think she's a wolf. You said cane, and I was thinking like cane, canine, wolf, doggy. Yeah, okay, she can go right next to Tangle in different because I do not know her enough. Zavok. Fuck.
Is he NDP coded?
Yeah, I was just thinking he's very NDP coded. So that's Sonic, which means now we're moving on to Chun-Li versus Mai Shiranui with Fatal Fury or King of Fighters overall.
Okay,
I imagine,
okay.
Because
Gotcha.
Rugal was in here. So we start with. Oh yeah, who do you think I put in here?
Ash Crimson.
No, not.
Who did you put in here? You put in. Let me look over everybody real quick. You put in Duck King.
Yeah. I'm gonna grill Adam so hard in the Transformer section if I'm not too tired to.
Ash Crimson's pretty cool. I really like him. I'm trying to think who he should fight.
Yeah? Where's your answer, Don?
Somebody I'm probably not thinking of. Probably another like fighting game newcomer esque
This
like
is
type
definitely
that's
more
stuck around.
your field than mine, so I'll let you just take over this.
You could make a case for Ash Crimson versus Jury, I suppose.
Why don't you make a
but
case
Jury's
for
got other
the next
matchup.
character instead?
The next character, Athena Asamiya. I like Athena. I think it would be cool to use her. I don't know what her matchup would be, but I would like to see something that plays into her multiple forms and her cool psychic powers. So I think cool, but don't have a matchup.
All right. Next.
Bijane, I don't care. I don't fucking care about Bijane. I don't think she'd be very interesting to use. I don't think she's very likely either.
All right, my goat, Duck King.
He sure is. Duck King's fun. I kind of wish he was in the new Fatal Fury, but we got Salvatore Ganacci instead.
Yeah, as if that's the worst one that they have in that game.
Well, that's just the most like Duck King we have in the game. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo's worse, but...
So Duck King obviously is going to go in short, but no matchup. All right. Iori.
Iori
Favorite
Yagami.
character. You love him so much, don't you?
I could see him getting on, honestly. I understand why he's a fan favorite. He's just not one that interests me terribly. So I think he's likely. I don't know what his big matchup is though. I think Sub-Zero is one I heard a lot, but like if Sub-Zero's coming back, it's not for fucking Iori.
All right. Okay. See, that was like a pun.
K-Dash.
Onto K.
K-Dash is cool if you don't know he's a clone of Kyo Kusanagi from the Clone Saga. Does that give you any hint into who I think his matchup is?
Who is it?
It's Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. I think that one could be fun.
I have heard of that one. All right, just for you, I'll put it up to like would be neat. All right, that's no King I'm used to.
King is really cool. I like her. I think she's cool. I like her design a lot. I like how she plays. I don't think she's ever gonna get on a death battle. I don't know who her matchup would be if she did.
Okay, Cooler Diamond.
Cooler Diamond's very popular. I could see her getting on a death battle at some point. I'm not sure who Coola's matchup is either, though.
Okay.
She's got ice powers. That's neat.
Kyo.
Kyo Kusanagi, pretty sick.
Oh, he should go to a hospital.
Who the fuck would Kyo Kusanagi fight that's not just bringing Ryu back a third time to fight another fighting game main guy?
He can fight Ken. Because that's what they do with Terry. They were just like, we don't want to put Terry against Ryu. Let's just put him against the second fiddle.
Well, because Ken and Terry already had an established rivalry in the Capcom and SNK crossover games.
Does that make it any less dumb?
Yeah, I would say so.
Shut up and rank him, Don.
I would say cool. Don't have a matchup though.
Okay, Leona does have a
Leona
matchup,
Heidern is cool.
She
I
does
like
have a
Leona
matchup.
versus Cammy a lot.
Yeah,
I don't think
I actually
Cammy's ever gonna come back. Though.
I like that a lot. I don't care what you say. I'm putting her at the top because I think Cammy deserves to come back. Because Cammy's cool.
She definitely does.
And
but
I used her moveset a lot in Street Fighter 6. Which I wasn't expecting, because like I had like no attachment to Cammy, and then like I started playing a moveset and I was like, actually I really like this.
Rock Howard. Rock Howard's pretty cool.
He's already on the list.
Oh, is he? Rugal Bernstein, is he already on the list?
Yeah, I think he's like at the top. He's like he's in one of the top tiers.
Ryo Sakazaki, is he already on the list?
No. Yeah, Rugal's at the top.
Okay, Ryo Sakazaki.
Bison.
I like Ryo versus Dan a lot, but after Dan Hercule, I don't think we need another Dan episode. I think it covered him well enough.
And Tizok.
Then I like Tizok versus King. I think it's cool, especially now that Tizok has come back as Tizok again, and he had his tenure as King of Dinosaurs, his brief heel turn, where he was just really bad at being a heel because he's too like naturally heroic.
That's really funny because like there are a lot of stories of like wrestling heels genuinely being really nice guys and just like, you know, not enjoying being a heel sometimes. Like I know there's a story of like of the wrestler Earthquake, who was really upset that because he played such like a fucking devastating heel, that whenever like he would say hi to the children, they just run away in fear. And he was like, oh. And like it's like, oh, that's fucking sad though.
That is sad.
I'm still gonna laugh about it, but
Tizok versus King is cool. That said, if King from Tekken got onto Death Battle, I would rather him fight Zangief. That said, we've already had Zangief, so King Tizok's cool. I like it.
yeah, I mean, hey, it's that or Incineroar, so you know, I know where you're gonna sit.
These next two franchises are all you, buddy.
Okay, so RC. RC's cool. Do I need... I think this is, like, specifically the trading card RC, if I'm not mistaken, which I could be. To which I would say, nah. But, like, RC in general, cool, no matchup. Animated Black Arachnia.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say the character you suggested here is either Saltman Z or Kremzeek.
Kremzeek was absolutely Eve. Saltman Z was mine. Black Arachnia...
Gotcha.
So the thing is, animated Black Arachnia I don't think has anything interesting. Like, she was her name was Ariel, and she fell into a pit of spiders, and she tried to use her, like, copying power on them, but because, you know, she copies mechanical powers because she's a robot, it fucks up and turns her into, like, this techno-organic spider woman. I think she's neat, but, like, there's no matchup
Weird.
for her. Fucking, like, Evergreen Bumblebee. If this was movie Bumblebee, I could accept movie Bumblebee versus, like, MCU Groot. I think that's neat. But as it is, we're stuck with Bumblebee versus Metabee, which I think is neat. But I don't know enough about Metabee to rank it too high.
He's a Digimon.
IDW Deathsaurus. Deathsaurus versus King Ghidorah. That's my matchup. I can't not rank him really high. Even though I would go with more Victory Deathsaurus, but you know. Dreamwave Devastator. Dreamwave Devastator. You can tell by the fucking dull surprise on him. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Devastator's great, but I don't think he warrants an episode. I mean, he does, but I can't think of a matchup that would be terribly interesting unless you want to put him against, like, this Sentai mech is made of construction vehicles, which probably exists. Don?
Sentai mech made of construction vehicles. Yes. Bokenger's mecha, I think, is. Let me double check that. Bokenger mecha.
What's it called? Bokayo?
I'm fucking searching. Hold on.
That's a terrible name.
Rank another Transformer while I fucking look for this.
Alright, Dinobot. So his matchup, I believe, is Zuko, which I think is cool. I'm not sure I need to see Zuko come back. Grimlock.
Yeah, that's fair.
Specifically, Mobile Grimlock. So Grimlock's matchup is Q-Rex, who is 200 times his size, and can't really give him a cool sword fight, or really a cool T-Rex fight, because again, Q-Rex is so much bigger. So as it is, Grimlock, I love Grimlock, one of my favorite characters, but I don't have a matchup I like for him.
Okay, so do you want to take another crack at what Bokenger's mech is called?
Is it not Bokayo?
It is Go-Go Gatai Daiboken.
Oh, yeah, I would have gotten that.
It's made of Go-Go Dump, Go-Go Formula, Go-Go Gyro, Go-Go Dozer, and Go-Go Marine.
Wow. So I noticed Rhinox in this. Where's Cheetor? He's like the guy from Beast Wars that's not Primal or Megatron, or Dinobot, in that he's like these in Beast Machines. He's the one who goes on to be the leader. Where is Cheetor? Adam, where is Cheetor? Where's Ultra Magnus? Where's Galvatron?
Here, I'll send you the images of the Bowcanger megas because they've got 4 different like mega.
Hold on, where's Galvatron? Because he's like a completely separate character than Megatron most of the time.
Oh, where is Galvatron? Actually, that's a good question.
Like, Galvatron in the comics and some of the games is more of like a time traveler who came from either the distant past or future, depending on the version. He is a different guy to Megatron. Where is Galvatron? Where is Cybertron Optimus Prime in all this?
Galvatron versus Galvatron versus Hakumen.
Where is Unicron Trilogy Starscream? Like either Armada or Cybertron, because like they're both very cool characters. Where are they? Where's Ratchet? Where's Ironhide? Where's Ironhide? What? You got Tarn but no Ironhide? Bruh.
Who the fuck is Tarn?
Tarn's fucking awesome, but he's a comic exclusive character pretty much, aside from his likeness being used for some villains in Cyberverse. I didn't expect any Cyberverse rep in here, but like, bro's so cooked. Where's Blitzwing? I want to see Blitzwing in here. Where's my guy Blitzwing?
What character are we on?
We're on Hot Rod. Where's Blitzwing? I look at Hot Rod and I see there's no there's no Ironhide between him and Kremzik. Is bro stupid? There's no Thundercracker or Skywarp either. You know, no Thundercracker, no Skywarp. Because that's socially acceptable today. Where's Starsaber?
Did you recommend...
You've got
Did you recommend Cozy Glow?
No. You got Deathsaurus, but
Did you recommend Cosmos?
No. You got Deathsaurus, but no Starsaber? Where's God Jinrai? Like, I don't expect, like, Overlord. Well, but he is there. But where's God Jinrai?
Ironhide and Galvatron are easily the 2 biggest omissions.
Where's God? No, he's got Deathsaurus and Overlord. He's not got Starsaber or God Jinrai. They are equally relevant. They are each other's like rival character. He's got movie Optimus Primal. He's got Rise of the Beast Primal, but no real Primal. What the fuck? He's got Transformers 1 Sentinel. I guess that's probably the most prominent version today. So fine. Bro, Adam, you've let me down. You've let me down.
You keep going on about Transformers and MLP for a minute. I'm gonna grab a cup of water. I will let you do your thing.
You've got. Where's Omega Supreme? Where's Omega Supreme? He's like, of all the G1 cartoon characters, probably the most well developed is Omega Supreme, if not like Blitzwing. Or of all characters, Slingshot. Like where or even Silverbolt. He got pretty good decent arc as well. Bro. Where are the Titans? Where's Metroplex? Where's Fort Max? Where are they, bro? Where's Sideswipe? Holy shit, there's no Sideswipe on here. Where is Sideswipe? What? You got G1 RC. Where's Prime RC? That is the definitive RC for most people these days, because she was so great, and probably the if not RC, then Starscream would be the best reps from Aligned. I think Armada, Cybertron, and Aligned Starscream all deserve to be on here, because they are all incredible characters. Where's Slipstream? She's so popular these days. Where's Slipstream? Bro. Adam, bro, if I knew you were this cooked, I would have helped you out. You could have just said something. Alright, Hot Rod. I guess Hot Rod... Hot Rod, I really don't care for Hot Rod versus Invincible. Hey, I just realized that he's not got Slipstream on here.
Only I came back and you still weren't past Hot Rod.
Only like the most popular new Decepticon character, Slipstream. There's no Lugnut. There's no Lugnut! I can't talk about Lugnut versus Clobber. Oh, not Clobber. Crusher. Nah. Hot Rod, sure, but no matchup. Oh, no. Hot Rod versus Raichu. Hold on, not Death Battle. Kremzik.
Sure.
Again, not Death Battle. Beast Megatron. Absolutely. Megabyte from Reboot all the way. It's,
David K.
It's absolutely perfect. You could get David K for it, genuinely. He would do it. But Megabyte from Reboot, that's perfect. Megatron in Beast Machines even becomes like the kind of character who could interact with Megabyte. Movie Optimus Primal. Just, who needs him? He's in one film and he does nothing in it. Overlord, specifically IDW. Okay, he can go near the top. Because Overlord versus Juggernaut is really cool. But he gets to be above Juggernaut for the fact that I'm definitely in it more for Overlord. Overlord's great. Predaking. Predaking versus Gal Gaiga is pretty fun. Because, like, you know, big combining mech with a lion chest. And also, like, they're the strongest fucking guy ever. And also Predaking versus Voltron is similarly pretty cool for that reason. But just in, like, would be neat. I don't think Predaking warrants, like, as a character, warrants that. If anything, Gal Gaiga versus Voltron would be more warranted. Primus. I've seen a lot of Primus matchups. I've seen Odin from Marvel. Lame. I've seen the giant mecha god from SCP. Whatever. I really like Primus versus the God Emperor of Mankind, though. Because, look, there's this god who turned himself into an inanimate object, pretty much, because of his fight against the ultimate bringer of chaos that is the big douchebag asshole family relative, technically. And then he like spawns in this group of super mega ultimate demigods who then go on to be the progenitors of an entire like super race of fucking also giant kill guys, more or less. That's the bit. Primus versus the God Emperor is really neat, but I can't put it at the top because admittedly it is a chair versus a planet for if you were to take their current incarnations, and that would not be the most interesting fight to watch.
This from the #1 Mogo versus Ego Pusher.
See, a planet with psychic powers and like who can spawn limbs more or less, versus a planet that can make literally anything into existence. That can have a dynamic. A planet versus a stationary chair is not the most exciting. Now, could Holy Terror? I guess it would have to be Terror attacking. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. Primus would never approach Holy Terror to attack it, and Holy Terror doesn't move. Rhinox. I love Rhinox, but who's asking for Rhinox in Death Battle? Where's Rampage? Wait, he's so cool. Where's Rampage? Where's Big Convoy?
I ask myself that every day.
Where's Big Convoy? I can't talk about Big Convoy versus Black Getter.
You should have suggested him then.
I didn't think Adam was this cooked.
I don't know if you're cooked if you make a Transformers list without Big Convoy. Let's not get crazy.
He's cooked for making it without Galvatron, Ironhide, or Slipstream. Or fucking Beast Wars Primal. Like, and put Rhinox on here? Rhinox is the GOAT. Like, absolutely, Rhinox is fucking awesome. But he is not the guy who warrants... Where's Tarantulas? You put Rhinox but no Tarantulas? Where's Tarantulas? He's like the villain! Like, aside from Beast Megatron, the big villain in Beast Wars is Tarantulas. He's the guy!
You know, to me as a non-Transformers fan, this sounds like the most glup shitto rant I've ever heard.
Tarantulas is, like, the most prominent villain aside from Megatron himself in Beast Wars. He is his own agent, and he reveals that his entire plan the whole time was basically to get both sides wiped out in the past, so that his unique faction that does not originate from Autobots or Decepticons, which later on would be retconned to be direct Unicron spawn, could win. Where's Sideways? I just mentioned Unicron spawn. Where's Sideways? He is the Herald of Unicron. The one. He's the guy. Like, I'm not here saying put in Ramjet or put in the Four Horsemen. Where is Sideways? And Sideswipe, as I said. Saltman Zed, man, you're fucking goated, but, like, not Death Battle moment. Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime. Cool. I don't think he warrants a whole episode though. G1 Shockwave. If he had a matchup I liked. Soundwave.
I've seen a lot of Shockwave talks around. I've seen IDW Shockwave versus Archie Eggman. I've
Lame.
seen Shockwave versus Brainiac. I've seen
Mediocre.
Shockwave versus The Maker.
Terrible actually. Soundwave.
Wow.
Again, if he had a good matchup, I don't like any of his matchups. I think Gary Oak is funny but not good.
The Witch King is right there.
Oh fuck yeah, the Witch King. Hold on, not Death Battle moment. Okay, Tarn. Tarn, you are amazing, and you would be the best solo IDW or like IDW original rep. You do not have a matchup. I mean, I guess unless you count the DJD versus the Ginyu Force, I think that's extremely funny. But this is not the DJD. This is just Tarn on his own. Ginyu, hold on. Ginyu wasn't in there with the Dragon Balls.
He wasn't, actually. No, that's a fair point.
Like, Ginyu, like, he's not a super relevant villain, but you know who else isn't? Nappa. So, like, Ginyu should have been there.
Ginyu's far more relevant than Nappa.
Yeah.
He got his own fucking version of the opening.
I was gonna say Raditz, and then I realized, wait, no, that's a misconception. Raditz is super important. Turnless is on the list, but Ginyu's not.
I mean, okay. As important as Raditz is, Nappa did kill half of the Z Fighters. Well, okay. To be fair to them as well, technically, 2 of them killed themselves. Tien and Chaozu killed themselves.
Let's
Piccolo,
be honest.
Nappa
Only one of the guys Nappa killed actually mattered.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Was Benator?
Because at the end of the day, stalling Cell and stalling Boo didn't really do anything.
Was Benator is awesome, but Was Benator has no matchups. Windblade. Okay, see, now that's cooking. That's a good character choice! She has no matchups. I'd like to see her, because I think Windblade's great, but no. Where's Ultra Magnus? Where's Ultra Magnus? Where's... Oh my god. No,
I see an omission from the MLP side of things.
Adam purposely left Ultra Magnus off so that I couldn't talk about Ultra Magnus versus Garnet. I can feel it. Alright. MLP. Okay. If you want to know, I suggested Sunset Shimmer.
Oh, that tracks. I mean, I thought she'd be popular enough to have been submitted on her own, or
Okay.
like thought of.
Applejack. Oh, Applejack versus Mira Jane from Fairy Tale's pretty funny.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'll put that in Would Be Neat. Cosmos, don't care. I really don't care.
I don't know who Cosmos is.
Cozy Glow is amusing, but I don't think she warrants it.
I don't know who that
Fluttershy,
is either.
keep Fluttershy out of Death Battle. Thank you.
I want to note, no Derpy Hooves?
No Derpy. Though she is not the most important of characters, frankly.
She's not the most important, but she is one of the most popular.
I guess she's more relevant than Grogar, who is not in the show. Like the version that Adam's showing, that's Discord. That's Discord disguised as Grogar. The Sirens aren't on
It's
here.
pretty funny.
The Sirens would make a better placement than Grogar. Neither is Stygian. The Pony of
What's
Darkness.
the one fucking giant bear called Ursa Major?
Yeah, that's like in one episode. There's no G1 to 3 rep. There's no G1 Pinkie Pie. There's no G1 Rainbow Dash. There's no Minty.
No G5 either.
Yeah, who cares? No, that's true. No G5. They should have. There's no Spike.
Yeah, where's
On this?
Minty? Where's Minty?
Like, ironically, where is Minty? Because like G3 is not beloved at all. Like, there's no one likes G3 really, except Minty. Minty's great. Minty's great. Where is Minty?
I remember the Christmas special where she made everybody socks.
Yeah, she invented stockings. Canonically, that's what she did. But yeah, where's what's the G5 character? Sunny Starscout. Where's Sunny? Because we're here with Grogar. Let me tell you something, Don. Grogar is the main villain of the final season of My Little Pony G4. He is revealed to just be Discord pretending to be the legendary figure Grogar. In G1, Grogar appears in 2 episodes as a memorable but otherwise unremarkable villain. Which like we have a G1 rep in here in a sense with T-Rack, who represented via T-Rack, because you would composite them, because like there's, I mean you would have to because T-Rack himself is so fucking boring. Grogar, you go to the bottom, you piece of shit. You've already been a Death Battle. You're just Discord. King Sombra, that image used literally just looks like a DeviantArt OC. And you know what, King Sombra...
I was gonna say, he doesn't look real.
King Sombra, it's because most of how he does look pretty bad when he shows up, but most of him is like this big cloud. King Sombra was cool until he actually showed up physically, and then he never did anything again. Princess Celestia. I don't like any of her matchups, but I wouldn't be against it just because she's such a jobber. Like, hilariously so.
Isn't one of them All Might?
One of them's Superman. Like, Celestia's method of combat...
That's right! I remember that.
There's a dream sequence where we see, like, the Dawnbreaker, I think it's called, which is, like, evil version of Celestia, her version of Luna's Nightmare Moon, which I'm sure means a lot to you. Her method of fighting is smacking you with the sun.
I know what a Nightmare Moon is.
Her method of fighting is smacking you with the sun. So her matchup is Superman.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, Celestia versus Amaterasu sounds like it would be neat. Like, that's an option. That sounds cool.
Actually, no, that sounds fun.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to put her up because I think I've never seen that really brought up. I think Celestia versus Amaterasu would be pretty fucking cool, actually. Now that I think about it. Princess Luna. I like Luna a lot, but her matchups, I think the main one's Darkrai. And the issue there is Darkrai's not a character.
No. He's a character in Rise of Darkrai, but like they're not going to use specifically that version.
If they use specifically...
Actually, no.
If they use
Darkrai is a character because he's the main villain of Poke Park 2 Wonders Beyond.
I'm thinking about it. I think there is something to be said for Darkrai Luna because Luna, she brought on nightmares as Nightmare Moon, but she like really regrets that once she reverts back and she tries her best to undo it. And as you know, Darkrai doesn't want to bring like terror to everyone. Like it is not a malicious being at all.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of a cool sort of dynamic, I guess. If they like specifically use the versions of Darkrai that are characters, I think this would be cool. I think it would be cool. Rise of Darkrai is also the one that actively scales to the creation trio, so...
Yeah?
Queen Chrysalis. I like Chrysalis, but I don't think there's a matchup for her.
I've seen this thing before.
She's a changeling, obviously. Rarity.
Sounds like a thing to me.
Rarity has great hair, but I do not need to see Rarity.
You fucking would say so.
Starlight Glimmer also has got good hair, but not as good. I don't need to see Glimmer either, but I put her higher because I think that she has enough stuff going on to be used. Sunset Shimmer.
Oh, but Sunset Shimmer.
I love Sunset Shimmer. No matchup. The best I can give you is Raquel from Life in the Dreamhouse. Barbie, because that's really funny.
I was gonna fucking say you have a Barbie matchup. There's no shot you don't.
Yeah, I do. Raquel. But even then, like, that's mostly because Raquel is like, if movie 1 Sunset Shimmer kept acting like movie 1 Sunset Shimmer despite being movie 2 Sunset Shimmer. Like, if she kept trying to
Sunset Shimmer's gotta fight someone from
Alphabet.
DC Superhero Girls.
That would be funny. T-Rex. Get in there with Moro. And Trixie Lunamoon, I think her name is. Trixie's great, but I don't have a matchup for Trixie. And now we move on to Halo. And you can cook Adam if you want.
Finally, something I know. I like the Arbiter. I don't really care
here.
about his matchups.
Yeah, I don't like Arbiter's matchups. If there was a Predator with the same storyline as him, that'd be cool. But there isn't. So just Arbiter versus some random Predator doesn't sound particularly exciting.
Yeah, I think there's dude from fucking Mass Effect.
Yeah, there's Garrus.
I don't care.
I think Garrus versus Thel is really cool thematically. My only issue would be that it's just Chief versus Shepard, but like less. But like there's less going on.
Yeah.
So I think Arbiter, I guess because I do like Garrus, I'll put him in like would be neat, but like he's like real. If I was to put these in order, he'd be like right near the bottom. Didact.
The Didact.
I genuinely think Didact versus Khan Maker is a really funny matchup. Because like they have so little in common except that Khan Maker's not on this list.
No, he isn't.
Who'd I suggest? I know who I suggested for Halo because it's the only female and she's like one of my favorite characters in the book in Fall of Reach. That's Kelly. Who the hell did I suggest for Doom?
Yeah.
I really didn't think I'd need to suggest Khan Maker.
I don't remember Valen the Betrayer, but that might also be a Doom Eternal thing I didn't get to.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the fact that I know the person who made this makes it a lot easier to roast it because I know that he won't hold it against me. Because like we're cool, and he knows I'm not disrespecting him personally. Khan Maker, the main antagonist of Doom Eternal. Where is she? You've got the Dark Lord Davoth. You've got the DLC villain, but you've not got the main villain.
Anyway.
Yes, keep going.
Escarum. Who cares?
I just want to note, Avery Johnson's not on here.
He's not. They could have put him in the Green Machine from Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, Johnson is the GOAT. Anyway, yeah, Escarum, who gives a shit, honestly?
Locke, honestly, I don't hate Locke.
You mentioned the Flood's not on here. The Flood is not on here.
The Flood is not on here.
Which is insane to me.
Much like the Death Battle. It's crazy because I was having a conversation with some of the GGM guys about how there needs to be like an adequate mix, I guess, between story stuff and versus stuff, and how if a lot of story stuff gets left out for the sake of like conveying the versus stuff or a who would win scenario, then it's fine. Which, fair to an extent. Taking down the Flood is like one of, if not the most notable thing Master Chief has ever done.
Taking down the Flood is the main goal of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Like the game's people like that ends with the destruction of the Flood. That is the storyline. Like Halo 3 is, I would say, the best game in the series, partially because I've not played Reach yet. And I hear that's also that's a major contender for best. I've played some of Reach, I believe, but I've never finished.
That's my favorite one.
That's like the big contender I hear for 3. But having not played it, I think 3 by far the best Halo game. I like Halo 1. I like Halo 2. I surprisingly do like Halo 4 to an extent. I think Halo 5 sucks. And I cannot play Infinite because my Xbox One barely works.
I hate how Halo 4 plays. It feels wrong. But no, I think Locke is fine. I don't have a matchup for him.
Yeah, I think Locke can be cool, but I don't have a matchup for him.
I don't know Kelly.
I love Kelly. She's from the Fall of Reach book. She is the female member of the team in Halo 5. You know, the blue team that's really important to Master Chief that never got brought up prior, and they should have.
No, that's right. Yeah, I do know Kelly. I guess I just didn't fucking remember my name.
Oh, I was about to move Noble 6 into the fuck off tier. Hold on, Kelly, you're great.
You leave my goat out of that tier.
That was an accident. Noble 6.
Noble 6, love, don't have a matchup for. I guess the closest thing is Noble Team versus the Bad Batch, but.
So you're saying you're a big Noble Team versus Bad Batch fan. I see where you're coming from. I'll put him in the top tier for you.
I mean, it's something.
Alright, now Doom, with no Khan Maker.
Just a Cyber Demon.
Just a Cyber Demon, go away. The Dark Lord Davoth. No. He does not warrant an episode, I'm going to be perfectly honest. The Icon of Sin.
Icon of Sin, I don't know if he does either.
The Icon of Sin of all the villains, aside from Khan Maker, absolutely would be the closest one to warrant a...
Well, because if his opponent can't no-clip, they can't beat him. You have to go behind the wall and kill John Romero.
Well, you would include the giant one. They could just kill the giant one as well.
You got a no clip through its head.
Yeah, I guess.
Come on, Nim.
I just, yeah, I don't think the where's the Halo 3 Doom Marine?
True, actually.
Same with ODST.
Where's
guy.
where's fucking what the fuck is he called?
It's your matchup, man.
Billy Butcher's character from Doom.
Oh,
Carl Urban.
yeah,
What's his
Carl
name?
Urban's character. Where's he? Where's the Rock as well?
Yeah, where's The Rock?
Icon of Sin. I think I'll put him above the others because he is a recurring antagonist, which you don't get much in Doom. And Valen the Betrayer. This was my suggestion because I didn't think I'd need to suggest Khan Maker. Valen, no. All right. What are we on to next? Oh,
Mega Man.
yeah, Eggman versus Wily, starting with. Oh, okay.
Ale.
Yeah. I don't see.
I like Ale,
I don't
but
see
like
Vent on here, oddly enough. So I guess.
I mean,
Ale's
Vent and
supposed-
Ale are the
I
same
think
thing.
Ale's supposed to represent both of them. I don't have a matchup for Ale. That's the thing for me.
It's the same thing.
Ale's cool. I just don't have a matchup for him.
Actually, Axel versus Silver could be fun. I don't mind that one.
Axel versus Silver seems neat. There is a very large subgroup that think it only exists because their debut games were terrible and garbage.
That's a part of it for sure, but I do think they both came around, and I think that they're a fun shakeup to the blue guy and would you call it Shadow's kind of red? He's got red on him.
Kind of. Bass. Oh yeah, I don't. You can already figure it out. Who did I add in for Mega Man?
You had a Quint, but if it wasn't Quint, it was gonna be Lumine.
Obviously, it was Quint. Of course, I'm the guy who added in Quint.
Bass versus Metal Sonic is.
You just immediately cut out. You said Bass versus Metal Sonic is. So I'm
Like this now.
I'm going to assume you were gonna say it was a terrible matchup. So I'll put it at the bottom.
Bass Metal Sonic is one of my favorite matchups of all time. It's in my top 5 at least. We've had Metal Sonic at Death Battle 3 times.
So you're excited to see him again.
It's a case like with Gogeta where it's just I can't justify him again.
I'll put Bass in the second high tier, but not the top, just because of that.
Bass EXE, however, has a matchup with
his matchup is
Beelzemon. I think that
Beelzemon,
matchup
yeah.
is so cool.
That I like that Digimon. It looks cool. So
He is cool.
Dr. Vale or Vile, depending on how you want to say it.
Yeah, Dr. Vile, because he's wily.
Dr. Vile, the main villain of the Zero Saga. Nah,
Oh, Dr. Vile.
there is a villain in the Zero Saga that warrants it more. Oh right, Duo. There's no Sage Harpuya in this. He's got Vile from Zero, but none. The 4 Guardians aren't here.
Nope.
All right, Duo.
Duo does not need an episode.
No, it really doesn't. No, it does not.
Lumi doesn't need an episode either.
What? Now this character though, Magma Dragoon.
Magma Dragoon.
Where's Fighting Fafnir? Fighting Fafnir. Where's he? Because I have a matchup for him.
I love Magma Dragoon. That said, we don't need him.
The Mega Man Killers. Oh, they're great, but no.
I like the Mega Man killers too, but again, we don't need them.
Omega Zero. Omega Zero would be really cool. But no matchups. Because the thing I like with Omega Zero is that it would strong arm Death Battle into using the Zero Saga design. Because they're never going to do that on their own. And I think Omega Zero is really cool.
Proto
in concept,
Man.
but his only matchup is Cell, and I don't think that scans for me.
Proto
Man.
Man.
Where did we put E1 123 Omega? I'll put him with
Yeah,
him.
he's cool.
Proto Man's pretty cool. Quint, obviously, not Death Battle.
Quint,
Roll?
my beloved.
Roll, no.
Roll can fight.
Roll can fight the third Mario brother, Giuseppe.
I'm trying to think who's like a fucking cleaning character who does cleaning things, because that's like. That's Roll's occupation, but that's also what she does in like the fighting game she appears in Capcom vs.
She can
SNK
fight
and
Valkenhayn.
Tatsunoko.
Valkenhayn Helsing versus Roll. That's the matchup.
You know what? Fair enough.
The other side of the housekeeper. Alright. Sunstar. Sunstar is cool for scaling, but you don't see the general on here, even though he's the same. But you do see Lumine, so I guess the sentiment's there. There's like no there's like no Star Force characters. Like, Adam could have looked up just what the main villain of Star Force is. I don't know who it is. Or, wait!
I don't either.
I was gonna say there's no Legends, but no, Tron Bonne is on here, it's just we've already moved her, so that's fine.
Yeah,
Vile.
the next character even.
Vile can suck a
can go right next to Darth Maul.
That's true. Yellow Devil. Why did I say that as if that was exciting? Yellow Devil.
Yellow Devil can fight Krakow because they break up into segments, have one eye, and shoot beams.
No, Krakow's got to fight Ridley.
No.
Yeah. The yellow. It should be. If it was Krakow, Krakow would fight the whole Devil family. We're on to Link versus Cloud now. Do you think we're gonna get through all of Season 1? Because that ends after the Pokemans. There are so many Pokemon. Holy shit. Adam.
That's what we can shoot for. We could shoot for ending the episode after Pokemon.
So, Link versus Cloud. Dark Link. That's a not Death Battle.
I don't think Dink needs his own matchup, but I think it is interesting that we haven't seen Dark Link in a while. I think the last time we saw him was Twilight Princess, wasn't it?
I guess we don't count Hyrule Warriors, because I'm pretty sure he's in that.
Don't need him. Fee.
No.
She's just a sword.
She is a sword.
She could fight Pyra and Mithra, I guess.
Girahim. He's cool, but he literally, his biggest claim to fame is that he fucking... Actually, exactly the same as Ant. His biggest claim to fame is that at the end of the game, he's not the villain. He's not the boss.
Yeah.
So I think Girahim's just like, no for me. Well, I'll put him above the bottom, because I think there's something to go to, like, just like a non-Triforce user would be cool. Impa!
Impa's cool, but like most of her cool shit comes from games people. Well, most of her cool shit comes from Hyrule Warriors.
Most of her cool shit comes from Hyrule Warriors. Yeah. There's no Rivali, I think his name is, even though he's like the one character who's not a Triforce user that has a matchup.
Yeah.
All right. Why? Oh, by the way,
is Koga not the one you suggested?
No, my suggestion was Princess Hilda. She's not on here.
Well.
All right, Midna.
I don't know.
Midna's cool. Does she have a matchup?
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't know of one at least.
I think Midna would be great to see, but she does not have a matchup. So like, that's an issue. I've not played that.
Sidon.
No. It's like a diagonal angle actually.
Well.
Skull Kid. Skull Kid would be pretty fucking cool, but
yeah,
I'm
what
not
fucking thing did I see that seemed cool?
It's Nightmare for him, and I'm not big on that matchup.
Nightmare's fine. I swear there was another one I saw that I can't fucking think of.
Come back to me with it, and I'll accept it. I just don't think Skull Kid vs. Nightmare is that interesting. I think, like, combat-wise, I don't think it's that interesting a combination.
Tingle.
What's your thoughts
on
Tingle versus Waluigi?
I don't like it very much
Oh,
because it
do I
just
put
plays
Tingle
into
in?
Waluigi being weird. But like,
Do you like Tingle,
Waluigi's
though?
not anywhere near as weird as Tingle is.
Do you like Tingle though? Isn't he your goat?
Uh, I mean his DS games are kind of funny, but
All right. Big woman, I think.
Urbosa, yeah. She's
Uh,
cool. Don't know what her matchup is though.
Yeah, I don't know. Zant, you're going in there with Girahim.
Yeah.
I think there's got to be more Legend of Zelda options than this, right? Where's CDI Link, so I can put him in the not death battle tier?
Where's Toon Link?
Yeah, wait. That's a good question. Where is Toon Link?
Where's Toon Zelda?
Where's
So we could
Hyrule
have
Warriors?
Tetra.
Where's Hyrule Warriors Link? I would love to see a Hyrule Warriors Link.
Where's
matchup.
where's what the fuck is her name? Lana?
Yeah, Lana, I think, and the villain of Hyrule Warriors could probably go on here too.
Yeah,
It starts with a C.
Sidra.
Yeah, something like that.
Sidra?
The very sexual character. All right, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
This is terrifyingly small for a franchise with 16 main series games that each have their own entirely unique cast.
I can tell you who doesn't need to be on Death Battle, and that's Aerith Gainsborough.
Yeah. Aerith, yeah, she does not need to be on Death. No. Bahamut. I assume just a composite
Bahamut versus Rayquaza is pretty cool.
Bahamut Rayquaza is pretty cool, but nothing special to me because Rayquaza is nothing special as a character. Bahamut versus Ghidorah is neat. Bahamut's neat. Fine. Barrett.
Don't need a Barrett episode.
Barrett's cool. I just don't think he's got any neat matchups, and I don't need more 7. Cactua. So okay. Hold on. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, Final Fantasy 1. We've got Warrior of Light. We've got Garland. Even though technically that's more so Sinners of Paradise and Dissidia, but whatever. We have nothing from Final Fantasy 2. We do not have Emperor Mateus or Furion. We have nothing from Final Fantasy 3. We do not have the Onion Knight, and we do not have the Cloud of Darkness. We have nothing. We have Golbez from Final Fantasy 4, but no Cecil Harvey or Kane Highwind. Somehow. Final Fantasy 5, there's no Barts. We've got X-Death, but we've got no Barts. 6, have we got Terra? We've got Terra, we've got Kefka. Okay. No Celeste, but we'll live. 7, fuck off. 8. There's no Squall? There's no Squall. There's no
Hi.
Squall. There's no Squall.
It's really popular. Why is there no
There's
Squall?
no Squall. I'm just saying that over and over again. There's no Squall. What's the villain? Like, is it Ultimecia? Who cares? Final Fantasy 9.
Something like that.
There is Zidane. That's cool.
9?
There's
Yeah,
there's
Zidane and Vivi.
There's no Kuja.
Zidane and Vivi.
I like calling them Zidane. I think it's nice to annoy people. 10. We've got Tidus. We've got Yuna. That's really all you need. I mean, no, there's no Auron. There's no Auron. Where's Auron? He's the guy. Where's Waka as well? Where's my goat Waka? The racist lord. 11 I can go without, though Shantota would be neat to see. 12 I can also go without, but like you could have slipped Vaan in. 13 Lightning's already been dealt with, and let's be honest, no one cares about the other characters. 14 where's the 14 Warrior of Light? That's the main one you want to put in. Noctis I believe is here and he's been dealt with. Why did I say it like that? But there's no Arden. There's no Arden, the main villain of 15. And 16, there's Clive. There's no Dion. There's no Ultima, but who cares? There's no Joshua, I don't think. And then you've got nothing from the extended parts of the franchise. You've got Cactua and Chocobo, though. and Kachi.
Where's our Bravely Default?
Where's like, I'm not expecting like Rain from Brave Exvius, but like where's some tactics rep? Where's Ace from, I think it's Ace from Type Zero. He even got a shop in Dissidia. Where's Chaos?
Anyway, just a Cactuar.
No,
I
don't
guess
just give
the
me a
entire
Cactuar.
species
Who wants Kachi on Death Battle?
every Cactuar versus every Piranha plant.
Chocobo, okay, Chocobo, where we put Chocobo Yoshi?
Chocobo Yoshi's fun.
I'm gonna put it near the top because I don't think it's like a groundbreaker, because Yoshi probably doesn't need to come back, if we're honest. But
Cloyve.
Clive Rossfield. This guy talks about his enormous pecs in like a vaguely Cornish accent. I'm quite fond of Clive. I think it'd be great to see Clive versus Azura, but they've already blew the load on Azura, so I'm not gonna put him quite near the top.
there are no other Clive matchups. There's Eren Yeager, which I don't like. And Clive doesn't really have much else.
X-Death.
X-Death's awesome. Find me... Wait! There's no Greg! Where's Gilgamesh? Wait a minute! Oh! Where's Greg? Where is Greg? Squall and Greg are like the biggest omissions here. Oh my god. I'm gonna break into Adam's home and stare at him while he's making breakfast and then leave. You might not think that's much of a threat, but that's because it isn't. Alright, X-Death, I'd love to see it, but you've got no matchups. Garland. I still love Garland versus Ganondorf. I don't think Ganondorf needs to come back, though. So,
that's fair.
Would be neat, but nothing crazy. Golbez. Now, one of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy IV. Golbez does not need to be on Death Battle, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. He's got a matchup I think is neat, though. Golbez versus Kane from Shining Force, I think is really cool. So I'll put it in not Death Battle moment, because that's like a matchup only I would like. Kefka Palazzo.
Kefka Loki is the big one right now.
Yeah, but that's... I prefer Kefka Shang Tsung. I think that's much more neat, like, character-wise. Either way, Kefka pretty high up. Not top tier, though. I don't think his matchups on their own, like, really scream to me. It's like, yeah, gotta happen. Tara Bradford. So, he's put Satan at the end of Vidal's name, but he's not got Tara's full name. Tara is great. I don't... Does she have a matchup?
I don't think so.
Tidus! Okay, Tidus Klonoa seems pretty cool. And I like Tidus a lot. And I can't put Auron in the top tier because he's not here. So I've got to put someone from Final Fantasy X.
Is it Titus?
It's Tidus. But Titus is the way you pronounce it if you want to be inaccurate but sound less stupid. So, you know. You would use that.
Yeah.
Vincent Valentine. Mate, not really, to be honest.
Not
Vincent's
really.
cool.
All of his matchups just have better.
Vincent's cool. I don't think I need to see Vinny Valentine. VV. Fuck. Where we put Gino? Because I know that was the one.
Put Vivi next to him.
Yeah. Wait, is Gino at the top? It can't be. Where the hell is Gino? Fuck me drunk. There he is. Would be neat. There's Vivi. Warrior of Light. So this is specifically the Dissidia character, because the Final Fantasy one is called Zest. In the novelization, they affirm the warrior in Final Fantasy 1, his name is Zest. By the way, my suggestion for Final Fantasy was King Arthur. Turns out I should have suggested Squall.
You know what? Dissidia Warrior of Light versus Hyrule Warriors Link.
Ooh, that's kind of neat. I don't know if I'd go for it because there is a lot of unique stuff with the Warrior of Light that I like, but that's kind of neat. I think Warrior of Light would be neat. I like the Warrior of Light, but Yuna. Yuna's great, but
She
I
looks
don't
like a
like.
Silent Hill character out of this render.
She does. I love Yuna, but she does not have a matchup that I like. Lucy Hartfield is terrible. The matchup, not the character. I like Lucy. I used to really not like her, but I've come around. Yuna versus like a Fate, some like master, it could exist, but like they can't summon servants at will unless their name is Ritsuka Fujimaru. So yeah. And then Zack Fair. No. Why is Zack Fair on here? Is it because
So
of
he can
Crisis
fight
Core?
Chrom.
Is it because of Crisis Core? Because I know that's the game where he's the guy.
Yes.
But like,
Well, Crisis Core also got a remake.
Zack
so-
Fair doesn't deserve an episode.
No, he doesn't.
And Mr. Tribal, I do not think you have a matchup. As much as you'd be.
I don't
cool
think
to
he has
see.
a matchup, but I do like Zidane. I'd like to see him.
I think it'd be really cool, but he does not have a matchup, and that sucks. And we move on to the final category.
Oh,
the final
fucking,
franchise.
Zidane's a sky pirate, right?
Are you thinking of the Luffy matchup?
I thought of Vice Engelbard from Skies of Arcadia, but I also thought of fucking the jellyfish pirates from Guilty Gear.
You're thinking you're putting him against May or against Johnny?
Vice versus May does sound kind of funny.
Let's
Or
think
Vice
that.
versus May. Vice. You know what? 3 ways. Zidane versus Vice versus May. There you go.
And speaking of good matchups, let's start with Absol.
Kamen Rider Decade.
You like immediately jumped on that. Absol, not Death Battle moment, just for that, or Mothman. Either one is very not Death Battle coded. Aegislash, no. I love this Pokemon, but no. Arceus, no.
I don't hate Arceus versus Aslan just as an
I
encapsulation
genuinely
of
do.
Pokemon versus Lions
No,
debate.
my issue with it is Aslan is not a like allegory for Jesus. That is literally C.S. Lewis wrote his faith as that character. Like power scaling him is power scaling C.S. Lewis's faith and what he believed in. It is power scaling the Bible basically, because it is what C.S. Lewis believed. That's what he wrote for Aslan. And Aslan objectively loses. You cannot argue he wins unless you argue that C.S. Lewis believed Jesus Christ was a murderer. Because the only person Aslan kills is the witch, who allegorically and literally represents Satan. Aslan killing the witch is representative of Jesus banishing Satan. So you would have to argue that Arceus is Satan.
Have you considered Arceus did invent the mobile phone, so basically Satan.
Yeah, I just think it's very disrespectful to power scale not just a widely followed religion, but specifically an individual person's faith and what they believed, because that's how he wrote Aslan. He's very clear on that. There was no room for interpretation. Aslan was his
fair enough
interpretation of Christ in the Bible if he was in this world. So
yeah,
it would make me
fair enough
super uncomfortable to see them bring up all these feats, and it's like that feat is an allegory for that is literally representative of something in the Bible. You are power scaling the Holy Bible, which I'm not religious, but I know religious people, and I know how it felt during the Heracles Wukong waiting period. I wouldn't want that on anyone. I wouldn't want to push that on anyone else, because that was a fucking terrible feeling. And unlike some people, I do not think that other people deserve to suffer the same way I do. I don't believe in that kind of retribution, and I don't think it's right. Cynthia. What Pokemon did I suggest? Oh, yeah.
Spinal, what the fuck what a stupid question.
I forgot. Yeah, Cynthia. She's cool. She does not have a matchup. I think that way for most of the cool trainers, to be honest, is that they're cool, but they don't have a matchup. Alright, Darkrai I'll move up with Luna. And you can talk about Decidueye, who's here for some reason.
Because he's the coolest starter. No, Decidueye is really cool, though. He's definitely one of my favorite starters. Should have been in Smash over Incineroar.
You can talk about him
cold
later.
take, but I don't think
I'd say-
Decidueye has a matchup I
I'd say
necessarily need to see.
Lukewarm take. I think that's pretty like back and forth. Deoxys. Where'd we put Damus?
Yeah. Put him next to Damus.
Probably right near the top is probably where Damus is. No, down for it. Because they're not really characters, but it's still a cool matchup. Dialga. I love Dialga. He does not need an episode. Oh, well, Dialga versus Alexander from Final Fantasy is pretty cool. But again, they're not characters. Ditto. That's a not Death Battle character.
Ditto. Yeah.
Ditto versus Kirby is really amusing, but not good. Eevee!
Eevee versus Vmon.
Is that your suggestion? Are you supporting that matchup legally?
Yes. They got all these different forms they could turn into with the different items. They got all the cool powers unique to them. They got basically secondary mascot treatment.
There's no Carmine,
They got
your
V.
favorite character.
No, there is no Carmine.
Wait, there's no Ethan. Or Brandon.
There's very few trainers in
Or
general.
May. Like, the actual characters of the series aren't here. We got Nimona, but no Gary
War.
or Blue. I can't talk about Gary versus the Chaz, or Blue versus... I'm sure he's got something. No Silver? Is there no Silver?
I mean, to
Oh.
be fair, Nemona's a better rival than any of them, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but you wouldn't call her as developed a character as Silver. Or N, but N's right there.
I definitely would, because character development. Silver loses to you like 4 times throughout the course of Gold and Silver or Heart Gold Soul Silver, and then says, I guess maybe I should be nice to my Pokemon, and you never see him again. And the only character development we get beyond that is in the Giovanni event that they never actually fucking released in the game that you have to hack a Celebi in to be able to go see.
I still say that's more character development than literally none.
I mean, Nemona's not a character that really needed that much development. She's
No, I
just
agree.
entertaining as is.
I'm
She's
not
a
saying
fine
Nemona's
character.
worse than Silver. I'm saying Silver does develop more as a character. He is one of
Yeah,
the,
I
like,
just don't like...
two... Oh, no, it's like, yeah, probably two... Oh, no, 3 rivals with any development. The other would be N and Blue. Blue going across multiple
I like
games.
Hop. I like Hop's development a lot.
Guzma's not here.
Gardevoir.
No.
Nope.
I like Gardevoir, but I
Genesect.
don't need Gardevoir. Genesect also a solid no for me.
Genesect should fight Weevil so that Weevil can equip insect armor with laser cannon to one of his bugs and have it fight Genesect.
Gengar. Like just a Gengar, not
Wow.
a character. Just a random
Gengar versus King Boo kind of blows. I don't like it.
I don't want to just see a Gengar. I want to see a character. Giovanni.
We've also already had King Boo.
I genuinely really like Giovanni, but like his matchup spread is dookie.
Yep.
His matchup spread is more of like a shit spread. It's really gross.
Yep.
Giratina. Again, I like Giratina, but like, bro's got nothing that I like.
Yeah, I don't have anything for Giratina either. I know Janemba exists. I don't really like that though.
All right, Groudon.
Groudon doesn't really have anything interesting.
No, I don't need to see him. Grovyle, but like this is a character this time.
Yeah, Mystery Dojo Grovyle
Like
versus Lucina.
genuinely, like
That's the one.
top tier. I like that a lot, especially 'cause this is a middle stage evolution. That's really neat. The only time you'd ever see that, aside from Pikachu.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pikachu is like literally the most
Aside from
popular
Pikachu.
Pokemon.
Except the thing is, no one considers Pikachu a middle stage. Let's be honest, because like it didn't start as one.
No, but he is one now.
Hawlucha,
It is now.
like of all Pokemon, Hawlucha. Hawlucha's cool,
That is an odd shout.
but not.
He's gonna fight Tizok. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Incineroar.
You walked
I
right
fucking
into that
hate
one.
Incineroar. I don't like him.
we finally have someone else to go in. Don hates you.
Yeah, I fucking do not like Incineroar at all. I don't want to see him for many reasons. Many reasons.
Iron Valiant. I love Iron Valiant. It does not need an episode. Jigglypuff.
It barely exists.
It barely exists. Yeah, exactly.
Jigglypuff sure is.
Kyogre.
No.
Alright, Lugia has something to talk about. I think Lugia versus Mothra is bad, but the best Mothra has and kind of neat.
I heard M and thought you were gonna say Lugia versus Minky Momo.
No. I bring up Minky Momo once to you, and now you bring her up like not infrequently.
They were created by the same guy.
I feel like I've just like unlocked a memory in you with Minky Momo. Lugia's
Yeah, because I watched the Kenny Lauderdale video about it and how it's fucking cursed. But yeah, Lugia and Minky Momo were created by the same dude.
I'm gonna
so
put
they can fight.
Lugia in would be neat. I don't think it on its own is that big of a draw. But I think Mothra is not a
definitely
terrible
not.
matchup. Just kind of a bad one.
Fuck.
Lusamine.
I don't like Ragyo versus Lusamine for the reasons of, one, if you're compositing Lusamine, the only time we see her do anything in her fucking like this like symbiotic form with Nihiligo, which is like the main draw to it, is in the anime where she doesn't have the same connections with Ragyo that she does in the manga or the games. In the manga, she gets scaling that she does not have in the anime and does not have in the games. As a matter of fact, giving her Ultra Necrozma scaling makes no fucking sense, because in the games she doesn't. You can't fight her in the same games as Ultra Necrozma. I think she might be like an event battle, like once a week
I'm not sure how much
during
it matters,
Ultra Sun and
just
Moon. But
given where Ragyo scales, but you know.
yeah, there's that too, and it's also like I don't really want to see a Pokemon character against a sexual predator, really.
All right, Lycanroc. Midday, not midday.
Yeah,
midday.
specifically.
No. What a random fucking matchup or character. Magikarp, not Death Battle. Straight up. It was the debut character. Metal.
It sure is.
No. I guess it's cool that he's there because that is the only Pokemon Go rep you could really give. So that's fair enough. It's like the biggest game in the franchise.
What the hell's Meloetta here?
I don't know.
Adam, is this a Gooner pick?
Oh yeah, just for Adam, I'll put it right next to Gardevoir.
Mew. Mew versus Adam for Record of Ragnarok is kind of funny.
Okay, not Death Battle. That's really funny. I like that. It's kind of just stupid. They can literally copy any move.
And they're the original. They're the first
original, the
one.
Pretender. They fight, or they don't fight God, but at all. I'm trying to think like.
Mimikyu.
Like where's Latios? Like that's a character. That's a character in that one time, you know. But instead we have Lycanroc.
He died.
Yeah, he's fucking dead. Bro's dead. Even Hooper, like that's more of a character than fucking Lycanroc. Mimikyu, no, thank you. All right, N. We have an
N.
actual character. His matchups. Where are they?
Was the first time I realized I liked men. Fun fact.
So, he can go in no matchup because he don't have none.
Yep.
Necrozma. Bro, you only exist for scaling. Get the fuck out of here. Nimona.
Basically, yeah.
No matchup.
Against who? Ogrepon. Fuck Ogrepon. I'm sick of that thing. I won't get into the teal mask rant right now.
Palkia. No.
Nope.
Pichu. No.
The Pichu brothers versus Curious George.
Yeah, but this is not the Pichu brothers. This is a Pichu.
Mm.
Psyduck. No. Rayquaza. Right, where's Bahamut? Go with Bahamut.
Rotom.
Rotom. I guess that is a prominent enough Pokemon at this point. No.
Yeah, because they stick him in fucking everything.
Snorlax. I really like Snorlax. Go in the no tier, please.
I like Snorlax.
Swinub. A peak specimen.
Who's the one for Swinub?
Who is the? That's a good question. Maybe the fucking pigs from Angry Birds.
Is it there in the manga fucking Price of Swinub like no sells Palkia or something?
Yeah, like I think Swinub versus like, the Swinub species versus the pig species from Angry Birds. That's your matchup. They're both universe busters.
Team Rocket versus Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I mentioned it earlier. It's pretty fucking based. I think it's really fun.
Yeah,
And it doesn't even have to be a 3v1 because Dr. Doofenshmirtz has Norm.
Tinkaton. I like Tinkaton, but no.
No.
Tyranitar. I really like Tyranitar. No.
But no.
Urshifu. Who gives a
Urshifu.
Shifu?
Yeah.
Zacian.
Zacian.
Zakayan. The Sword Dog. No. Zoroark. So this was a character
if Zoroark
in
had a matchup
the
I
movie.
liked, I would be mad.
If you went with like the Mother Zoroark, that would you could do something neat with it. But I just like nah. And Zygarde, you barely exist.
Not Death Battle tier.
No. Well, I guess
What?
I guess I said I would do Zygarde versus Cell if I did it. So that covers
That's it.
Season 1 of Death Battle. I'm going to take a quick scan, see what Season 2 holds for us. Master of the Universe, Thundercats,
Soul Calibur.
Ninja Gaiden. Wait,
Bucky.
hold on.
Bucky
Is there
O'Hare.
Hold on. Is there no Strider repped here? Did he just completely skip over Strider?
Yes.
Bro, Strider Hien versus Storm Shadow. It's right there. I'm gonna strangle him.
Soul Calibur,
Yeah, Soul
Star
Calibur,
Fox,
Star
Bucky
Fox, Bucky
O'Hare,
O'Hare. All of those were suggested.
Terminator, Godzilla,
RoboCop.
Power Rangers.
RoboCop represented by 2 characters, of course. No RoboCop 2 on there.
What is this? What is this Power Ranger spread? What
Hold
the
on,
fuck?
Godzilla, Gamera, Gamera.
Bro looked at the fucking battle
Whoa,
for the
whoa,
grid
whoa,
roster,
whoa,
just
whoa,
put
whoa,
half
whoa,
of them
whoa.
on here. What is this?
Hold on, Gamera with no Legion? With no Legion. There's like, there's so few Gamera characters. You could have put all of them on here, mate.
You don't understand. We needed Viras.
Actually,
We couldn't have Legion.
Viras has a cool matchup, kind of.
I don't believe you.
I genuinely think like anime Viras versus anime Ghidorah is pretty fucking cool, if it worked properly.
Actually, okay, now
And-
hold on. I got a couple bones to pick here. So with Power Rangers, he basically just went through the battle for the grid roster, put whoever he found, because like Cat Manx is not a worthy contender for this list. Fucking Scorpina does not need a death battle. And then going through Gundam, that's, let me think. That's
Oh
one,
my
two,
god, that
three.
I didn't even
G
see
Gundam
Gundam.
reps.
What is this tiny,
Yeah.
tiny little sneeze of a Gundam?
So we've got
section?
Witch from Mercury rep, fair. We've got Unicorn rep, fair. We've got 2 wing reps, which no Death Scythe, no
Wait,
Tall Geese. Instead,
see-
we
I
have
don't
wing
see-
and heavy arms.
I don't see Barbados. Am I bugging? Where's Barbados?
Yeah, no Barbados.
Wait
no
a
Gundam
minute.
Seed. No.
Where is
Turn
God
A.
Gundam? Is that here and it's just like we've
Where's
ranked it?
Char?
Where's Char? Wait. Where's any Zaku?
Where's any Universal Century Gundam, for that matter?
Alright, we have Kirby.
Because this is... okay, so
Oh my
Burning
God.
Gundam, Master Gundam, and Nobel Gundam are all from G Gundam, which is its own canon. Heavy Arms and Wing are both from Wing. I don't know what Glacier is. Mercury is from Witch from Mercury, and Unicorn is from Unicorn. Where is any Universal Century stuff? Is it later? Do they have it listed under, like, something else? If so, why was all that stuff listed there?
That's... What? Oh, Gundam Glacier was my suggestion, because it's I really like the design of it. I didn't think it'd be this
That's
cooked.
correct.
Like, where's... Like, Barbados is the one that just screams to me it's missing. Why is Nobel Gundam
And
there?
then...
Like, the fucking...
Probably a fucking Gooner pick
girl
for
Gundam?
Allenby, I have to assume.
Like, it is... Yeah, it's a high schooler. Right, Kirby, Guilty Gear... okay, the Guilty Gear spread's not
Why is
bad.
okay? No, yeah, it's alphabetically. Okay, I was gonna say, why the fuck is Meta Knight so late into this? Why is Wispy Woods here?
That's not mine.
Why are fucking Flamberge, Francisca, and Zon Partizan 3 different slots? Like they aren't. Okay, whatever. The Guilty Gear.
The Guilty
we'll
Gear
get
spread's
there.
decent. From what I can see.
Uh,
Naruto.
fucking.
The Naruto spread is so small. Holy shit.
It's so. Like Haku?
Who did I
Why?
suggest?
Why Haku? Mecha Naruto? Who the fuck else would you have suggested?
Yeah, good. Fair. Oh, God. There feels like there's so much missing.
Amon Azula, fucking Combustion Man, the cabbage vendor.
Bro, this is sad. This is really sad. Like you got
Just all of the
Azula at the very
gargoyles
least.
and
Very least,
Xanathus.
put fucking Azula's like little goobers, her little the bitch brigade on there at least. You got Berserk represented by a whole 3 characters.
Who? Okay, no. Who the fuck is asking for Ruby and they want Curious Cat?
That's not mine, I don't think. Bro, he did.
Yours is Peter Port, fucking obviously.
You fucking just. Yeah, of course it is.
Who wants Tyrion?
Hold on. I'm looking at. I'm staring at this Berserk section. Where is Serpico? Am I just missing him?
Yeah, no Serpico, no.
There's more gargoyles rep than there is Berserk. Berserk.
Hold on. Why is Professor fucking Ochanomizu in the Astro Boy section, like, or Dr. Tenma, like, they're gonna fucking do anything?
Hold on, see a Metal Gear, and then like a fucking dog fart worth of Splinter Cell, even though Splinter Cell is part of a much larger canon which you could absolutely draw from.
Now, Adam, if you're watching this video, this question is directed squarely at you.
As if any of these.
I do not see Angemon. I do not see Patamon. I do not see anybody else in the Angemon line, despite him being one of the most important characters in the original Digimon anime and all of Digimon lore. But Angemon made this list. Is there any particular reason, my friend Adam Gregory, Adam the Fifth, why you would have done that?
To be clear, that's not my suggestion. Angelomon's not mine. Mine would be not on here. Mine was Gundramon.
Is there any particular reason, Adam?
Where's Gundramon, man? I wanted him. I had to suggest like half the Astro Boy characters, I believe, because without me, it would have probably just been Dr. Tenma and Pluto, and that's it. Oh my, why is Coco
Most
there
of the
for
rest of this
fucking
is fine.
Ruby? Wait, there's Coco.
Nobody's
but there's
asking
no...
for fucking.
There's Coco, but there's no Velvet. He put Coco, but not Velvet.
I
Where's
like Velvet.
Velvet's the goat. Where is she? Bro.
Who the fuck wants Zwei?
No, who wants Zwei to get brutally murdered? Who wants to
Who
see
wants
a little
Kakaina
dog?
from Red vs. Blue of all characters?
It's like a brief like scan. Oh my god, Zed Millenniumon's name barely fits in his box. I wanted Gundramon. Gundramon's not here. We have Devil May Cry for season 3, and then Bayonetta, and then Ratchet and Clank, and then Jack and Daxter, then Twisted Metal, and then Red vs. Blue, and then Overwatch, and then Team Fortress 2, Scott Pilgrim, One Piece. Okay, what are your thoughts on the One Piece lineup? He put Mistigan in for Fairy Tail?
Now,
Mistigan.
did you suggest Zunesha?
Huh? Let me double check. Yes, I did. Oh wait, no, hold on. Mistigan. Okay, Mistigan has to be my suggestion, right? I'm thinking about it. There's no way I didn't suggest Mistigan because it's such a stupid pick. That must be mine. I'm looking at it again at this whole list. That has to. If I didn't suggest Mistigan, I suggested Bixlow. There's no other. One of those characters shouldn't be here. I guess Bixlow's here because Freed's here.
Mistigan's not a terrible shout, honestly. There are worse picks.
Yeah, all his his one fight scene where he doesn't do anything.
He went and got all the flags. He went and got all the flags from the other guilds.
That's a
Come on.
great scene, but and where's God, Igneal's on here. But
Okay, so I'm looking through the
Leon's
One Piece
not.
section. It's a very odd lineup. Like, why the fuck is Carrot here? Why the fuck is Hody Jones here? Who suggested Hody Jones, actually? Why the fuck is Kuro here? Who suggested him? What is this image of Nico Robin? Where did he find this?
One.
Where did he find that? Hold on. Zoom in on Nami's face. Why the fuck is she drawn like that?
I can't just zoom in. I mean, I could edit it. I'm not gonna. Wait.
Why is Boa drawn
Is
like
it
that?
just me, or
What
is
the fuck
Frankie
are
not
these
here?
men- Where is Frankie?
I'm just looking at this. Is it just me, or is Frankie not here? I don't even read One Piece, and I'm like, where's Frankie?
You have bitch ass Black Cat Kuro. You have bitch ass Hody Jones. You have bitch ass Zunesha, but you don't have Frankie.
Where's Frankie? And then
Not that I want him. Where is Shanks? Where is
Good question.
Sabo here? Sabo's
no,
not here.
Sabo's not here. This is great. This is cooking Adam.
No Kuma.
I feel so bad for Adam, but also not in even remotely. So season 4 begins with Lara Croft and or Tomb Raider and Uncharted, but barely. They're like
Who the fuck
a
suggested
blink.
Mortimer?
Random Disney characters across the board. Some Shovel Knights. There's more Shovel Knight than there is several other series that should have gone.
Actually, no. Hold on. Let's rewind a little bit. I have a bone to pick with Thundercats, like how it's specifically laid out. Of like, okay, fair enough. Fucking reboot Chitara. Mumra's as he's supposed to be. Panthro makes sense. Tiger's classic. Wily Cat's reboot. That's fair. Why'd they pick Thundercats Roar Wily Kit? Why'd they make Wily Cat and Wily Kit two different eras of the show?
Oh, my suggestion's not on there though.
Who did you suggest?
Tugmug.
Of course he suggested fucking Pug.
The horribly named Tugmug.
Whose one notable thing is breaking the Sword of Omens.
By the way, Voltron has it's tiny. Voltron is, you could blink and you'll miss.
Hold on,
Voltron.
let me look at Bleach. Let me look at Bleach. Bombietta, Adam. I'm not going to elaborate. You know exactly why I called you out, Adam. Harabel is here. Bombietta is here. Where is Hisugaya?
I'm
Where's
realizing if I
Toshiro?
didn't suggest vehicle
Toshiro?
Voltron, there would be no other versions of Voltron on here. No Dairugger
Where's
15, no Gladiator Force Voltron.
Where's Uryu? Where's Ulquiorra? Why do we have Yami and not Ulquiorra? How can you have Yami and not Ulquiorra? Okay, for reference now, because I know you don't bleach, that's like having Nappa without Vegeta.
This tier list has Nappa without Vegeta, Don.
Vegeta's already fucking been in a death battle, though.
Exactly.
It's not the same. Don Kanonji's a base pick, though. That's funny.
Wait, the Jojo section's so small. What's going on there?
Dragona. Dragona just debuted.
There's no Speedwagon,
I guess
don't
Jojo
think.
Land's been going longer than I thought.
There's no Speedwagon. That makes me unhappy. Like, just like a
Avdol, but
moral
no
degree.
Polnareff?
Oh,
Or
wait.
is no, Polnareff is here.
Polnareff's here.
He's longer.
We have
Okay.
ranked Polnareff, at least.
I'm a little blind. I'm just a little blind. Okay, yeah, it's longer than I thought it was. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Wait, there's no Wanu?
Fist of the North Star.
The Fist of the North Stars. Where's... No, it's not fine. Where's fucking Kaio? Where's, like, the main villain of the manga?
Don't eat him.
He is, like, where is Kaio? He is the main antagonist of the whole fucking thing. Rao dies halfway through, bro. Where is the guy? Where's my goat? I mean, I guess my goat Ray is there, but like, what the fuck? I'm so okay. I can't be too disappointed. I look at the Spyro section. I see the Skylander invasion. I respect
Adam
that.
the Clown.
Wow, the Skylander invasion is respectable. I'll give some respect to Adam for that.
I fucking hate that they use the Killmonger haircut Eddie Gordo. That's so disrespectful.
Okay, so
Scaramouche, my goat.
Kingdom Hearts. Yep, Hades Kid Icarus is there. You can see him failing to get anything out of Dead Rising, but he got Nemesis from Resident Evil. That's like, and Chris Redfield. Those are the characters to put in. I feel like oh, Jill Valentine we ranked. Okay, that's fine. Tekken.
The Ben 10 section is a fine lineup, but man, do I have shit to say about that next time we record.
If we get, we're not gonna get here by the next time. Persona.
We're not gonna get here by next
So
time.
okay, hold on. So Adam has done a funny here, but like in a bad way. He's gone and done Spyro and been like, you know, Skylanders is technically Spyro, and put in Eruptor, Gil Grunt, Jet Vac, Pop Fizz, Stealth Elf, Tree Rex, and Trigger Happy, and Chaos.
Trigger Happy.
But then he goes to Persona and he doesn't go, you know, Persona's Shin Megami Tensei, so we can put in some SMT stuff. No, he just didn't do that. There's nothing. In fact, hold on.
Skylander spun off of Spyro. Persona did not.
Hold
spin
on. Is this all just Persona 4, 5, and like a sniff of 3?
Yes.
Okay. So Captain Falcon of F-Zero, frankly, that's barely referenced. That's barely represented, but like whatever. I don't know it well enough.
No Blood Falcon? No Blood Falcon? Come on.
Wait. No, wait. Yeah, that's a good point. Where is Blood Falcon? There's like one of the few characters you could put in. Okay, so you got FMA, fine. I don't know him well enough to comment. You got Greed. That's all I need. Castlevania. Gabriel, Hector, Kid Dracula. Hey. Leon, Maria, Richter, Shinoa, Simon, Soma. You know what? That's a fine lineup for Castlevania.
One Punch Man. Blast?
Hold on. Mob Psycho. Dimple, Reagan. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's about all you need for mobs. Wait, but no, wait, whoa.
No Blast.
Is Ritsu not here? I was gonna say Mob Psycho's fine, but I don't see Ritsu.
It's just fucking
Dimple, Reagan,
Dimple,
Tedeki,
Reagan.
Toichiro. Bruh. And then One Punch Man, okay. Bang, fair enough. Blast I don't think has done much. Deep Sea King, Flashy Flash, Fubuki Garo, King, Lord Boris, Metalbat, Moon Rider, Pooty. Why is Pooty?
Where's my Go-to-Atomic Samurai?
Yeah, put him over Pooty. Come on. Speed of Sound Sonic. Watchdog Man? Watchdog Man. Watchdog Man? Watchdog Man. Watchdog Man. You put Watchdog Man on here. The guy's whole gag is like, what if Saitama, but like elsewhere and off screen? What if Saitama was Squirrel Girl?
It'd be pretty lame.
Where's what's the name? Psychos probably should be on here.
Oh yeah, Psycho is a fair shout. I was gonna say Orochi, like he fucking did anything.
Yeah, Psycho can represent Orochi on her own. Like there's like 4 villains in One Punch Man you could put on here. 3 of them.
Okay, hold on. I want to see if you see the same character missing from Akamega Kill that I do.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. So the mask, that's fine. My Hero Academia. Let's start there. All for One, Darby and Endeavor, Froppy, Stain. You don't need to put the Hero Killer on there. It makes it hard to read. Fucking using the. I like how you got Uravity, Ingenium, Froppy, Mina Ashido.
Bakugo.
Yeah, Bakugo. We've ranked him, so he's not here on my side. You know what? The Hero Aka side, I think, is fine.
I would say the big one missing is Hawks.
Yes. Yeah, he should probably be on here. So I can't make a kill.
You see the same character missing from
where's
Akamega
Wave?
that I do? Yep. Where's
Wave? Where's Wave?
Where's Lubbock?
Where's Lubbock? Yeah, where's Lubbock? To be honest, where's mine?
Wave and Lubbock are literally my 2 favorite characters.
My
in the
2
show.
favorite
Where are
characters too. And she's not a favorite. Where's mine? She's like one of the most important characters in the fucking story.
they? Oh, but Budo needed to be here.
Budo needed to be here. You might as well put Bulat. You might as well put Shikataser, to be honest. If
Like the general's not here. Oh, where's my goat Susanoo, huh? Where's my goat Susanoo?
who did I suggest for a Kamega kill? Oh. Okay.
Was it Budo?
No. That would be funny. I suggested Shiro.
Is Chelsea dead in this image?
Sorry, no, not Shiro. I suggested Shiro for Killer Kill. I suggested Lubbock! Adam!
You shouldn't have had to suggest a Lubbock. He's one of the main
Shouldn't have
characters
had
since the
to,
start
no.
of the show.
Well, mine's not here either, and she's the one that Tatsumi... Oh my god.
Yeah, where's mine? No mine, no
Oh
Lubbock, no
god,
Wave.
Soul Eater. Now let's see... First of all, Black Star spelt wrong. There's a star in his name.
Yeah, technically, but I'm not gonna hold that against him.
Blair's on here, because of course she needs to be on here. Or Death, Medusa.
No free?
Yeah, no free? Bro.
Come on, get with it.
Bro smells bad. Bro, unhygienic. Oh god, Killer Kill's right here.
Ooh, Kill. What the fuck? Okay.
That is
So,
tiny. Is it...
I want to note.
It's half of
Mako, Satsuki, Ragyo, Nui, fair. We have Gamaguri and Nonon.
Where's
no
Sonic,
Uzu?
Where's Sanagayama? He's like
Where's
the best one.
Sanagayama?
He's like the best one.
No Sanagayama, no Tsumugi. Or Sumugu, that's it. No Sanagayama, no Sugumu.
Bro, I'm gonna fucking scream. I'm so upset. This is like just really unpleasing. None of the
Attack on
nudists
Titan.
are in here either. Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
you
Subago is my favorite of those.
you can comment on Attack on Titan. I don't know well enough. This looks like it's too small.
Armor
though.
Titan, Beast Titan, that's fair. I mean, not that I want Armin, but he probably should have been here. Armin definitely should have been there. Let me think. I think that's really like Annie didn't need to be there. Like she's pretty relevant for season 1, but after that she's a rock until the last act of the story.
The Kung Fu Panda site scans
Kung
to
Fu
me.
Panda.
That scans. That's fine. It's a Furious 5. All the main villains, Shifu and Oogway. That's about right. Steven Universe, I don't know well enough. Same with Star Butterfly. Okay.
Alexandrite does not need their own episode.
I'm gonna have to. Okay, let me look at these wrestling options. Asuka. Fine, fair enough. Very popular. Becky Lynch, absolutely, 100%. Becky Lynch along with Sasha Banks.
We promise we'll actually rank them next time.
Charlotte Flair. Wait, so we have Becky Lynch, but no Charlotte Flair or Sasha Banks, the other two who basically revolutionized women's wrestling. And no Chyna, but I guess she is dead, so maybe people will be upset by that.
No Big Show?
No Big Show. We got Cena, fair enough. We got Kane, fair enough. Kenny Omega, for some reason. Rey Mysterio, Rhea Ripley, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Undertaker, Xavier Woods, but no Kofi Kingston. It should have just been the New Day.
Xavier Woods was in Bomberman.
It should have been the New Day, like just as a group. Come on, you don't do the New Day separate like that.
Rhea Ripley is such a fucking boring choice.
I love Rhea, but I don't know if she needed to be on here. No Randy Orton.
Because it's
no Randy Orton.
She's got a
hold on. No Randy Orton.
fine energy.
No
to
Stone
her,
Cold Steve Austin. No Ultimate Warrior. Fucking, I understand no Hogan and no Triple H because they're dickheads. So fuck them. Get rid of them. Don't want them here.
Yeah.
They just are IRL dickheads. But then so are Kane and Taker. So it's not really an excuse to not have Hogan and H on here. No Batista.
Is the Undertaker? I didn't know that.
He's. Let's not get into it. No Batista. No Batista. I'm still stunned by no Randy Orton. No Edge. Edge is not here. No Gunther. Gunther's not on here. No Daniel Bryan. No AJ Styles. No Shawn Michaels. I mean, he is a dickhead, but come on. No Bret Hart. No Bret Hart. No Bret Hart. No Goldberg. No Sting. No WCW rep at all. No Ric Flair. No Booker T? No Diesel? No Razor Ramon? Oh my god. No $1 Million Man. I can't talk about $1 Million Man versus Wario. So upsetting. Adam. You've committed crimes. The Helsing rep.
He has committed crimes.
Helsing rep's fine, I guess. It looks fine to me. The Popeye
I have
rep.
to imagine Huntsman gave him all of his League of Legends reps. I have to imagine.
Yeah, I generally only know Aurelion Sol, Vi, and Poppy. The Popeye rep is Bluto, Olive Oil, Wimpy, the Sea Hag. No Poop Deck Pappy though. No Poop Deck Pappy.
Sea Hag is a good shout though.
I think that was mine.
No, actually, where's Eugene the Jeep?
Adam. Okay, who cares about Demon Slayer? I know who cares, but who cares about them? Invincible.
I mean, Demon Slayer looks like he did an okay job.
Invincible.
I would have had
fine.
Actually, no. For Demon Slayer, where's Tengen?
Who?
Uzui Tengen. He's the fucking
I seem to have
Sound or
stopped caring.
Wind Hashira. I forget which one.
Invincible seems mostly fine.
Cool,
I don't know who else could have been on here. The Boys. This is all the show. So, like, I guess that's fine. The female. Yeah. She has a name, Adam. The own...
We
Wait.
do not need a story. Okay, well, technically, Stormfront was already on Death Battle.
Technically. There's one single Akira rep.
Well, yeah, because what all do they have to fucking use?
Akira?
No.
There's,
Doesn't count.
Predator, which is represented by one Predator character, and then Dutch Schaefer and Naru and the Feral Predator. There's no Upgrade Predator. There's no Scar from Alien vs. Predator. There's no Xenomorph, which would have been a great, like, thing to slot in, like, with, the Skylanders. Because they have, like, one larger franchise, generally. Like, there's no Predator Ghost from Predator 2. There's no Jungle Hunter from Predator 1.
007 and John Wick I can't really comment on.
I can't comment on SpongeBob, whatever that is. Middle Earth. Okay. Aragorn, Frodo, Gandalf, Gimli, Legolas, Saruman, Smaug.
Friday the 13th looks fine.
There's
Tina
no
Shepard,
Gollum.
Uber Jason, Laurie.
There's
Laurie
no
Strode,
Bilbo
why?
from to represent the Hobbit. There's no Oak Shield.
No,
There's
actually,
no
hold
Thorin
on.
Oak
Where
Shield.
are Roy Burns and Corey Cunningham?
Of course they're not there. There's no fucking Radagast. That would have been sick.
Where's the Witch King of Angmar?
Yeah, where's the Witch King of Angmar? There's no Sam. That would have been great. Also, yeah, like, hold on. Is the entirety of Friday and Halloween represented by Tina, Uber, Jason, and Laurie Strode?
Yeah, that's the iconic trio.
Like,
that's
not
the
even
Sonic Heroes team.
Like, at least put Loomis in, like, just to balance it out.
Laurie's speed, Uber Jason's strength, and Tina's
fucking
flight. Come on,
Pamela
Sonic
Voorhees, the
Heroes?
murderer of the first Friday film, bro. I
Yeah.
think reboot Michael Myers should have been put on here because he is so different to the others. He is his own entire
He's
character, pretty much.
different.
And of course, Roy and Corey.
Most of the Warcraft seems fine. Black Clover, they don't have my favorite character. Where's Finral?
Your mum. I swear there is. Okay, yeah. No, it's fine. Elder Scrolls, bro.
Okay, the Hunter does not belong here. That's not a Dark Souls character. Neither is the Tarnished.
You're not gonna put Xenomorph with the thing. Yeah. And hold on, his Elder Scrolls rep is 3 characters, all from 5, I believe.
I will say I don't know Artorias, but the Ashen one, yep, that's Dark Souls. The Hunter and Melania are not Dark Souls. Solaire is Dark Souls. The Tarnished is not.
Artorias is. Where's like Sif, the big dog? That's a pretty popular one from Dark Souls.
Alduin makes sense.
Wait a
Lord
minute.
Harkon, who fucking cares? Mirak, yeah, where's the Nerevarine?
Hold on, isn't he missing a Dark Souls protagonist?
He's missing the Bearer of the Curse, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Elder Scrolls, nothing from 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, where's the Nerevarine?
At least the Nerevarine should be there. Come on. Where's, like, Dagoth Ur? That'd be great. Bro, Adam, you did not do any... I mean, but you can tell, I guess you can tell he was getting tired by this point. He didn't put any research into the Elder Scrolls segment. Makes me sad. I'm gonna cry. You made me cry, Adam. It's cool, though.
Yeah, apparently.
Make the tier list I gave you and we're cool. You did put Lindis in for Fire Emblem, so it's not all bad.
Then, for Hunter x Hunter...
Hold on.
Hold
on. So for Aaliyah, Robin, and Byleth, and Corrin, he put both the genders on there. But for Vent and Ale, he just puts Ale.
That is weird.
The Stitch segment seems fine to me. I don't think you need much more than...
For the Stitch section, they were missing Sparky, but otherwise...
Where's Jumba? You could genuinely do a whole
Where's
episode
Jumba? Where's Sparky?
Jumba. Yeah, where's Ruben?
Fire Emblem, I don't know enough.
I don't know if you know enough about
Stitch
Stitch to know that Ruben's missing, but where's Ruben?
Yeah, no, I fucking love Lilo and Stitch. That was one of my favorite things.
Where is Ruben?
Ruben's very NDB coded because by every account he should be as strong as Stitch. He just chooses not to be.
Where's the fucking like evil, like the Chinese Stitch? Like the villain from
You
that.
tell me. Gravity
Fucking,
Falls, the axolotl does not need to be on this list. Gideon Gleeful, fucking who wants it? Infamous and Prototype I couldn't speak on. I know you're a big James Heller fan.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think most of the Gravity Falls is probably fine. Same with Infamous and Prototype.
No Seuss? Come on, Adam. No
Wait, yeah,
Seuss?
there's no Seuss. I didn't even see that. Hold on. I guess I didn't see that because he's not there.
Toto makes sense. Fumihiko's a little weird. Jogo, yeah, whatever. Kenjaku, Mekamaru, Megumi Nobara, Panda Sukune, Itadori.
Wait, I remember. Dark End.
Um,
Dark End. It's not from the Chinese, it's from the anime. Where's Dark End in the fucking Stitch segment?
oh, yeah, the one that looks like a fucking Neopet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's no Yuta
And you know,
for Jujutsu Kaisen.
I'm not gonna say it was expected, but where is Yamato for Lilo and Stitch?
Where's
Stitch and the
Where's
Samurai.
Yuta? Because Yuta, other than Yuji, is like, because Yuta's the main character of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, like the whole pilot and the movie, and then becomes the main character again, basically, for a while when Yuji's fucking off training. Hakari not being here is a crazy exclusion when Fumihiko is. Jogo being here, but the other disaster curses aren't. It's a little odd. I guess he is the most prominent of them, but like not that prominent. For Chainsaw Man, yeah, Aki, Denji, Himeno. No, we don't need Himeno. We don't need Kobeni either. We don't even know what Kobeni's contract is. Nayuta makes sense, I guess. Power, yeah. Reze makes sense. No Katana Man. Evil Entity. Who the fuck cares? The Phantom Virus is a good shout, though. That's my goat. The chicken and cats are fair picks. Where's Freaky Fred? For Rick and Morty, yeah. Supernova. Adam, is there a particular reason Supernova's here? Because I know it's not because she's relevant. I know it's not because someone requested her.
I think it's really funny. The Celestial Toymaker is there for Doctor Who as if he doesn't appear in like one episode ever.
He came back.
2 episodes ever. Also, you can tell he doesn't know much about Doctor Who because when he put in the Master, he didn't go with the female version. If he knew anything about
Fair.
Doctor Who, then she would be there. Let's be completely honest about it.
I think it's a fine lineup, though. Cybermen, yeah.
Cybermen, Daleks, the
tracks.
Master Toymaker, Weeping End. It's fine.
Know the silence, Adam. Come on.
No War Doctor. Like that's a version of the Doctor.
Know
that
the Slitheen.
could genuinely be his own like character in his own like battle.
Know the Slitheen. Come on.
No 4th Doctor, no 5th Doctor, no 6th Doctor, no 7th Doctor.
No first Doctor, no second Doctor, no third Doctor.
No 29th Doctor? Bro's cooked. Bro don't know anything.
Adam can't see the future. Adam can't see the future.
Couldn't be me. It could not be me. Anyway, yeah, that's the...
Anyway,
okay, yeah, we're going to end the
this
video now.
up.
Goodbye, everyone. We've just cooked Adam and we feel... We're going to pretend to feel bad about it. Goodbye.
I'm gonna point and laugh.